time for high school football. Presented by Savage Auto Group on 830 WEEU. The voice of Berks and beyond.
High school sports on WEEU is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A, Celebration Villa of Exeter, Diefenbach Snacks, the Coley Insurance Group, Keith Heating and Air Conditioning, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Overhead Door Company, Render's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Ready Fight Phil's, Savage Auto Group, Shell's Restaurant, Mini Golf and Dairy Swirl, Spots Insurance, UECU, United Way of Berks County, and Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society.
WEEU is proud to showcase the talent and skill of our local high school athletes. From every tackle to every blitz and every thrilling touchdown, we bring you the best calls and analysis. Now, live from the field, your hosts, Bob McCool and Matt Lytle.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome from Bob Wolfram Stadium at Wyomissing. The Twin Valley Raiders, the Wyomissing Spartans for you today here on WEEU. Both teams unbeaten at 7-0. Both teams tied atop Section 4 of the Lancaster Lebanon League. The Raiders and Spartans are both 4-0 in the section, along with Lampeter Stroudsburg, who is lurking in the weeds when this one is done to take on both of these two teams in the next couple weeks. This is the 18th meeting between Wyomissing and Twin Valley, and if you're a Berks County high school football fan, you probably can assume that the Spartans have dominated the series, 14 wins to just 3 for Twin Valley. Twin Valley's last win in this series came back in 2009. But these are not the same Twin Valley Raiders you may have known over the course of the program's tenure. Brett Myers has taken it to a whole nother level, and this is certainly a game worth waiting for. 8 weeks into the season and maybe an extra day as well because it's a Saturday afternoon in Spartan country. Spartans got the best of Twin Valley last year in a 34-24 game in Elverson. We had that one for you here on WEU. Wyomissing comes in today's game ranked 3rd in the state in Class 4A by Penn Live. That's not a surprise to most fans around Berks County and beyond in Pennsylvania high school football, but it's Twin Valley who's become the storyline with what Brett Myers has done with the Raiders over the course of the last couple of seasons, and they are ranked 5th in the state coming into this one. This could be the first of 2 meetings between these two teams because they're right at the top of the standings as well in the District 3 4A playoffs. They are not thinking about that right now. They're thinking about remaining unbeaten and taking control of Section 4 with a victory this afternoon. But it's our high school football game this afternoon, and again, it is only on a video stream. If your friends have not found it, let them know. They can sit back and watch on your smart TV at home on YouTube. Sit back and enjoy 2 of not only Berks County's best ball programs, 2 of the best in the state as well on a high school football Saturday afternoon on WEU. Our coverage is presented by Savage Auto Group. We're going to take a timeout. Back with our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show from Wyomissing after this. Welcome back to Wyomissing alongside Matt Knob. My name is Bob McCool. High school football this afternoon. Again, video stream content today and a great day for football. Twin Valley, mentioned it a moment ago, Twin Valley and Wyomissing. And our pregame show is brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf. Fuel up for game day with their delicious burgers, their hot dogs, fried chicken, barbecue sandwiches, French fries, and, of course, ice cream. After game's over with today, how about 27 holes on the miniature golf course? Plenty of time and a great day to do that as well. Visit Shell's on the 5th Street Highway in Temple. Again, Twin Valley, coached by Brett Myers. And Matt, you are a Berks County native. You understand it. You've been around high school football now for the last couple of years and with us here at WEU as well. To say that Twin Valley is a state-ranked team, I think would probably shock most Berks County fans who don't realize it. But that's the job that Brett Myers has done, to take a program who 500 was a good season at Twin Valley. 500 is no longer a good season at Twin Valley. They are now regarded as one of the heavyweights in District 3 and now a state-ranked team as well.
Yes, Bob, the rise has been quick, and it has been straight to the top. Brett Myers took over this program a couple years ago, and they've been in playoff contention every season since. He's had a lot of seniors that have graduated, and he's been able to replenish those seniors with some more young players. It'll be interesting to see how they take on Wyomissing today. As you mentioned a little while ago, Wyomissing got the better of them last season. We'll see how they come out this year, but you can't ask for much more in this stage of the regular season. 2-7-0 teams.
33-10 is Brett Myers in his 4 years. Where are they so far in this season? Non-league wins over Berks Catholic, Selinsgrove, and Simon Gratz. Section 4, Elko, Octorara, Northern Lebanon, and Donegal. Look, there's no punches thrown here. These two teams have just beaten up everybody along the way, and so this is, without a doubt, their biggest test. Wyomissing did have Southern Columbia to start the season. We had that one for you on WEEU, but the Spartans got the best of that one as well. But what Brett Myers brings is technically a wing T offense, but we're in Wyomissing. It's not the Wyomissing wing T by any stretch of the imagination. I remember when he was at Middletown, Bob Wolfram once described Brett Myers' offense as a wing T on, because it's a lot of different looks, but they also have back now Drew Engel. And I don't know that a lot of people mentioned it when we were talking to Coach Myers beforehand. He brought it up that Drew Engel missed time last year. He missed 11 games last year, and instead of having two backs in the backfield and Drew Engel and Eden Johnson, it was mostly just Eden Johnson. But they have the two backs again, Lucas Myers and Drew Engel, both to be feature backs in there. Will we see them both on the field at the same time? Seems like that's a possibility based on the look of Coach Myers' face prior to the game today.
Yeah, it could be both of them. It could be one of them. But either way, this is a potent Twin Valley rushing attack. Drew Engel, 690 yards on the season. Lucas Myers, 597. They're going to keep the Wyomissing defense on their toes, whether it's one or both on the field at the same time.
Spartans under Bob Wolfram, 39 seasons, 379 wins, 92 losses, and a tie. That's fifth best in Pennsylvania high school football history. He moved past former Forest Hills coach Don Bailey to become now fifth all-time in high school football wins in Pennsylvania. Their schedule, I mentioned the non-league win over Southern Columbia. They also beat Haverford School and Academy of New Church, and then taking care of business in Section 4, Northern Lebanon, Elko, Donegal, and Daniel Boone. But again, it's the wing T. It's a Saturday afternoon in Wyomissing. That's what they do here. But when you put a player on the field with the skill set of a Justice Hardy, this is not your typical Wyomissing team that likes to plod the ball down the field, because when you put a
yes, he can. He can break one. He had 2 touchdowns last season in this game against Twin Valley, and it's the depth for Wyomissing. If it's not Justice Hardy, it's going to be Chase Eisenhower. It could be Tyler Nadrowski. The list goes on and on. Twin Valley's got to be on their toes, and all 11 defenders have to nail their assignment, or else Wyomissing can break one for a touchdown.
For sure. And again, to your point, these two teams have their starters, haven't played a lot of 4 quarters of football because they have had such one-sided games. We don't expect that to be the case this afternoon, but it could be a factor as this game wears on. It's time for our keys of the game. They're brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience finding countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. Twin Valley, Wyomissing this afternoon. Matt Knob has his keys to today's game.
Starting with the visitors, Bob, the Twin Valley Raiders. Twin Valley needs to take control of this game early and grab an early lead. It'll take the pressure off their first-year starting quarterback, Maverick Foster. Last year, Twin Valley fell behind 14-3 in the second quarter in this matchup, and they were unable to recover. Playing with a lead will allow the Raiders to lean on that run game and dictate the pace of play. And for the home team, the Wyomissing Spartans, don't allow the big play on special teams. Twin Valley is very good on special teams. They've scored on 4 kick return touchdowns and 2 punt return touchdowns so far this season. A big play on special teams could change the complexion of this game completely. And 2 keys for both teams. Take care of the football. Don't turn the ball over, especially on your own side of the field, and give the opponent a short field to work with. And this game will be decided in the trenches. Both offensive lines need to execute their blocking assignments with good technique, good footwork. I think the team that can control the line of scrimmage will have the better chance to win this game, Bob.
Well, let's take a look at some of those players that Matt is referring to as we like our starting lineups. Brought to you by Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 110 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Emmanuel, taste of Italy right here in Reading. Well, talk about the trenches. Let's talk about the trenches. For the Raiders, the center is Noah DiGiacomo, a senior. The guards, Grayson Miller and Andrew Boswell, also seniors, as is the right tackle, Zach Troutman. The only underclassman is 6'5", 265-pound left tackle, Liam Sheehan. The tight end is a junior in Andrew Cabegas. The receivers, Ben Grundy, Pat Shanahan, Dominic Summers, will all be out there in some capacities. Brett Meyer's offense runs a lot of different players out there in terms of packages and what they do. They'll use two different halfbacks in Ryan Remeter and Chase Riley. Joe Buckley is the fullback. Drew Engel and Lucas Myers will split time as the tailbacks. And as Matt said, Maverick Foster, the sophomore, is the quarterback. The defense, try to stop them for the Spartans. It's a 3-4 defensive alignment for Wyomissing. Robert Martino starts at the nose guard. Andrew Bresnahan and Christian Kaufman are the tackles. The outside backers are Tyler Nidrowski and DeMonte Strong. And the inside backers, Xander Westwood and Chase Eisenhower. A really good linebacker core for the Spartans. The corners are Marcus Armistead and Justice Hardy. And the safeties are Wayne Reason and Dom Arquellis. Offensively for the Spartans, Robert Martino is the center. Andrew Bresnahan and Khalil Rivera are the guards. Parker Lafayette and Christian Kaufman are the tackles. Diamante Strong is the tight end. Andrew DeFabrizio is the split end. Chase Eisenhower is the fullback to start. We'll also see Tyler Nidrowski. We'll also see Xander Westwood. It's a pile of riches for Bob Wolfram in terms of his fullbacks. So right now in 2025, Daniel Fleischhood is at one halfback spot. Justice Hardy is at the other. We'll see Dom McWellis is in there as the halfback, as well as Marcus Armistead as today's game progresses. And sophomore quarterback Brady Eisenhower, Chase's younger brother, is behind center for the Spartans. Defensively for Twin Valley, it's a 4-3 look for the Raiders, although with Wyomissing's wing T, it's much more likely going to be a 4-4. Joe Buckley and Aaron Sumner are the defensive ends. Grayson Miller, Noah DiGiacomo are the tackles. The linebackers are Lucas Myers, Ryan Remeter, and Keenan Munn. The corners, James Alexi and Ben Grundy. And the safeties are Grant Moser and Drew Engel. A lot of returning starters on that defensive side for Twin Valley. They did lose four-year starter in quarterback in Evan Myers. He's now playing with Kutztown University. The coach's son, a four-year starter, and obviously knew the offense. But we talked to him a little bit, Matt, Brett Myers, about Maverick Foster and how much of the offense he's absorbed. And he became a little bit defensive about his sophomore quarterback. He said, look, he's material. He's certainly getting better, but in terms of the offense, they feel very comfortable with what he can do and what he has done so far through 7 weeks of the season.
The confidence is there. The coaching staff has confidence in Foster, and Foster has confidence in himself, and the numbers show that. Twin Valley leads the PIAA in scoring at 57 points per game. So if there was any questions about their first year starting quarterback, Bob, I think the offense is producing pretty well.
Yeah, and his argument to that was his numbers would be even better if he was playing 4 quarters of football. I mean, he's playing 2 quarters and maybe a little bit of the second half. If you give him a little bit of more numbers, figuring that he'd play more time, his numbers would be that much better. Our game time weather outlook is brought to you by the United Way of Berks County. For 100 years, United Way has been a force for help, hope, and opportunity. They lead and invest in programs that strengthen education, literacy, food security, and job opportunities, helping children and families to thrive. Together, they do right here, building a stronger community for generations. Learn more or volunteer at uwberks.org. Our game time temperature is about 64 degrees. It is overcast. There's some showers and drizzles here and there, but so far so good here to Saturday afternoon. Wind, nothing really much to consider at any point in time. The only thing is whether or not the showers will hold off and make our way through this Saturday afternoon football game. As our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show continues, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from Wyomissing after this.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
As our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl Miniature Golf pregame show comes to an end, it's time for kickoff here, and the Spartans will receive that opening kickoff, and it's brought to you by Coley Insurance Group. Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance. The Coley Insurance Group, with locations in Muhlenberg and Wyomissing, they are a fully independent insurance agency with access to over 40 top-rated insurance carriers to ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they have you covered. At Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, the power of choice is yours. Call their team today, 484-848-6088. Alongside Matt Knob, my name is Bob McCool. High school football on a Saturday afternoon on Wyomissing. I hope you're watching it somewhere in a nice, comfortable spot as we get ourselves ready to roll. And the Raiders under Nate Schaefer will kick it off. And back deep for the Spartans is Justice Hardy, along with Daniel Fleischhood to receive the opening kickoff. And it will be Fleischhood who's going to get the first opportunity. He'll do so from about his own 5-yard line. He's across the 15, 20, 25, and 30 before he's corralled and brought down, and that's where the Spartans will start 1st and 10. Sophomore quarterback Brady Eisenhower, 78% completion percentage. It's just for 327 yards, but he has thrown 9 touchdowns and a couple interceptions for the first-year starter. He was out last year, missed most of last season with a broken clavicle. Teddy White was the starting quarterback instead, but Eisenhower wins the job. White had been a starter defensively. He's out right now for the Spartans as they start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Fleischhood actually will come out as a split end on the right side. Hardy wing on the left, and Eisenhower, the fullback, behind his younger brother. And it is Chase, the fullback, who gets the call. And Twin Valley is there, and they will stuff him after a gain of maybe a yard and 2 at best. Call it 2nd down and 9.
A whole group of Raiders there with the interior pressure to shut that run down right away.
Great job of pinching on the ends by Joe Buckley and Aaron Sumner. Buckley is a load, 6'1", 250 pounds. Helps stack that line of scrimmage and hold Eisenhower to a gain of just 1 at 2nd and 9. Diamante, the tight end, is on the right side. Now Fleischhood lined up as a wing on the right side and Hardy on the left. And it's Hardy on a sweep, left side, gets a block, makes a man miss. He's across the 35. Will not get enough for the first down as Lucas Myers and company will wrap him up a couple yards short. Wymissing's going to be in about a 3rd and 2 from the 38-yard line.
Justice Hardy showing that shiftiness there. Couldn't quite get to the edge, but a nice pickup to make it 3rd and manageable.
White was in there as a back in that particular play. Hardy's shaken up a little bit as he comes to the sidelines on a 3rd down and 2. DeFabrizio is the split end on the left side. Nitrowski is in there as the other halfback in the absence of Hardy. The give is to Chase Eisenhower, and the blocking up front, trying to get there, and he will take care of the rest. Eisenhower was met close to the first down marker, and then Chase Eisenhower just said, I don't think so. The 220-pound senior pushes it to the 41 and a first down for Wyomissing.
Eisenhower just bowling his way through that just enough to get the first down.
To the 41-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Spartans. Again, they have the ability to use Nydrowski as that second fullback, but also as he is right now lining up as a halfback with Hardy on the sideline. So Nydrowski halfback left, Fleischhood halfback right. And this will be Nydrowski on the sweep to the right side, and he will slip down as he tried to cut back. Ryan Rementer was there for Twin Valley. Nydrowski tried to cut away from him and slipped down at around the 42 or 43-yard line. It will be second down and about 8 coming up for the Spartans.
The Twin Valley linebackers so far, Bob, have not been fooled by anything that Wyomissing has thrown at them. They've stayed home and played their assignments well.
Of course, Brett Myers knows this offense for Wyomissing exceptionally well. The rivalry that existed between Middletown and Wyomissing had become legendary around District 3 for a couple years. The Middletown Blue Raiders had the best of it, and Brett Myers led Middletown to 3 straight district titles and the 3 state championship games in 2016, 17, 18. Eisenhower going to throw for the first time, pass a little bit behind Fleischhood, and it allows Lucas Myers to close in and knock it out of the hands of Fleischhood. So it'll be an incomplete pass, and it'll bring up third down.
Timing just a little bit off there from Eisenhower and Fleischhood.
So the incompletion will make it 3rd and 8 now for the Spartans. So an early big spot here in this football game. Opening possession, 9:20 left to go in quarter number 1. Wyomissing's first possession has them right now in a 3rd and 8 from the 43. Again, 3rd and 8 is not the kind of spots that Wyomissing is at its best, but now Justice Hardy will check back into the game. He's going to line up as a slot receiver on the left side with Fabrizio as a split end. Eisenhower is going to roll that way. Right-hander stops, throws, looking for the deep ball, and it's broken up. Ben Grundy right there with Justice Hardy and breaks it up. It's incomplete. It's 4th down.
Great play by Ben Grundy to track that ball through the air and break it up.
Well, there's not a whole lot of people who can go stride for stride with Justice Hardy, but Ben Grundy can. Ben Grundy at outstanding speed, an excellent 400-meter runner for Twin Valley, part of a great 400-meter relay team for the Raiders as well. And so the Raiders stop Wyomissing's first possession, and the Spartans and Keegan Mayer will punt. Grundy is the return man for the Raiders. Not much of a rush. Mayer has plenty of time. It's a high, short kick. Grundy will not make the fair catch. Spins out of a tackle, but the Spartan defense is there and wraps him up. Xander Westwood was the first one to slow him down. Grundy got out of that tackle, but the rest of the Spartans were there, including Fleischhood, to wrap him up right around the 30-yard line.
Great job by Fleischhood and Dominic Arguelles to make that tackle and prevent a big return.
9:05 left to go in the first quarter. Defense for Twin Valley holds. The offense for the Raiders takes over from the 30-yard line. Again, under sophomore quarterback Maverick Foster, 72% completion percentage, 829 yards, 11 touchdowns, has not thrown a pick yet. Drew Engel is back in the backfield to his left, and he'll get the first play. And Engel finds daylight, cuts it outside. Engel's got a first down across midfield. Drew Engel with a couple of Spartans chasing him down to the Spartan 30, 20, and finally run out of bounds deep into Wyomissing territory. Drew Engel flips the field in the favor of the Twin Valley Raiders, stepped out of bounds somewhere inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line.
You can see a great job by the Twin Valley offensive line to open that hole. And when Drew Engel gets to the second level, Bob, he's going to be tough to catch.
Little hurry up here for Twin Valley. They're quickly back to the line of scrimmage and right back to Engel. He'll go up the middle this time and fight his way for a couple inside the 15 and down to about the 14. 3 more for Engel. Oh, it's second down and 7. Brett Myers going with a little hurry up look here offensively, trying to catch the Spartans off guard after that long run by Engel. A 53-yard run for Drew Engel to put them at the 17. Then he goes for 3 more on his second carry. So call it 2nd and 7 from the 14. Myers is in there now as the tailback. Engel probably needed a breather. And they'll hand it off for Lucas Myers, trying to run the short side of the field. Makes a man miss in the backfield and then is run out of bounds eventually by Tyler Nydrowski. Somewhere inside the 10 it would appear. We'll see exactly where it is. They need to get to the 7 to get the first down. He's going to be short of that by about a yard or 2. Put it at the 9. So it's 3rd down and 2 coming up for Twin Valley. As Lucas Myers gets his first carry and goes for 5. Grundy split out on the right side. Rementer split out on the left. And the tight end, Cabegas, is a little bit off the line of scrimmage and slot left. Now Grundy goes in motion. A little pop pass to Grundy, trying to find some blockers. And a great tackle by Armistead. Marcus Armistead comes up and meets him down low and drops him for a loss at the 10.
Great pursuit by Marcus Armistead to prevent.
So it's 4th down now coming up for Twin Valley as they lose a yard on the play. It goes as a completion to Grundy, but a loss on the play of a yard back to the 10. A straight snap to Lucas Myers on 4th and 3, and they go a little wildcat and power football. It looks like Myers has enough. It's a 1st down at the 5-yard line. 1st down, goal to go, Twin Valley.
Powerful run by Myers there to bust through the middle and get just enough for the 1st down.
So the second 1st down on this drive, but now it's 1st down, goal to go for Twin Valley as Foster comes to the sidelines to see what Twin Valley wants to do offensively. They're going to bring in a couple of extra players. They're going to bring in Pat Shanahan and Chase Riley as well. They're going to split out on the right side. Buckley, the fullback, is on a wing on the left. Myers is the back in the backfield. On 1st and goal to go from the 5-yard line for Twin Valley. Buckley shifts left wing to right. Myers gets the call, following Buckley up the middle. He gets undercut by Diamante Strong and dives to about maybe the 3-yard line. Call it 2nd down and goal to go for Twin Valley.
Not much there for Myers, but nice job turning into a positive gain.
So call it 2nd and goal from the 3 as Myers gets 2. Pretty much the same look. They're just going to flip-flop the receivers from the right side to the left. Cabegas, the tight end, is on the right side. Again, Buckley right now lined up as a halfback or H-back on the left side. Here's the handoff from Myers. Myers takes on a tackler and drives himself into the end zone. Touchdown, Twin Valley. Andrew Bresnahan had a hold of him, but Lucas Myers just got lower and drove him backwards into the end zone. Raiders are on the scoreboard first.
Twin Valley flexed their muscles on that drive, moving right down the field. Lucas Myers bowling his way into the end zone.
On now comes Nate Schaefer to attempt the extra point for Twin Valley. Gavin Foster, the freshman, is the holder. The kick is through the uprights, and Twin Valley on its first possession is the first one in the end zone. 6:40 left to go in the first quarter in Wyomissing, and it's Twin Valley 7. Wyomissing nothing. We'll take a timeout. Back with more high school football presented by Savage Auto Group live on WEEU.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's kettle chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
WECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, WECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for WECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. WECU, banking that understands home.
Following the touchdown for Twin Valley, Justice Hardy on the kickoff return for Wyomissing, trying to turn the edge. He gets across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, but Twin Valley's on the board first, finishing off a 7-play drive, 70 yards. But Matt, the big play was the first play, that 53-yard field flipping run by Drew Engel.
Drew Engel with the big run, and that gave Twin Valley enough momentum to power their way into the end zone. We talked about it in the pregame, Bob. It would be important for Twin Valley to set the tone, and they did that on their first offensive possession.
So a 7-0 lead for the Raiders as the Spartans' second offensive series starts 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. The give is to Hardy. Hardy gets hit immediately, coming up to make first contact for the Raiders. Not sure who that is. It's wearing number 40, and we don't have a 40 on our roster for Twin Valley. I'm going to have to assume that might be Keegan Munn, who's listed as one of their linebackers. No, it's not Keenan Munn, so we'll figure it out. I think there's a change of jersey right now for Twin Valley, but whoever that was, it made the tackle on Hardy. We'll at the 29-yard line, a gain of 2 at 2nd down and 8.
Light rain starting to fall here in Wyomissing.
There's a toss pitch left side for Hardy, spins out of the first tackle and rumbles himself across to about the 35-yard line. On the top of the pile, and the tackle was Grant Moser coming up from a safety spot as Hardy gets a couple more. Call it at the 35-yard line, and a gain of 6 for Justice Hardy puts Wyomissing in 3rd and a long 2. $5:30 left to go in the first quarter. Diamante Strong at the tight end, a little bit off the line of scrimmage here with the Fabrizio split on the right side. Hardy will go in motion. It's a sweep to Hardy. He gets a block. Can he get the first down? And a great open field tackle. It's Grundy who makes the tackle. It looks like it's short of the first down.
Fantastic tackle from Ben Grundy to tackle Justice Hardy. The one player that can match up as far as speed and agility is Grundy, and he makes the tackle. They're not letting Hardy get the outside edge, Bob, and that's important to contain the big play.
So the great play by Grundy looks like it's going to force Wyomissing to punt the football again. Mayer out there to punt on 4th and 1 for Wyomissing at their own 36-yard line. Bob Wolfram not going to be in a position to gamble this early in a football game. So Mayer will punt it away, and again, Grundy is back there awaiting a return. High booming kick. Grundy this time will call for a fair catch and will do so at about his own 27-yard line. A little bit of a gamble last time for Ben Grundy. Decided to take the gamble and not call for the fair catch. This time, I think I'll take the fair catch. We got a 7-0 lead. Don't make a mistake.
Take the fair catch there and bring out the offense after that drive. Coach Myers and the team has to be happy with how their offense has played early on in this one.
Twin Valley starts their second series from the 28. Drew Engel, who had that long 53-yard run and then a little 3-yard run, and then came out, if nothing else, to give himself a breather, but also to bring in the other back, and that's a little bit of bigger back in Myers. Engel at 185 pounds, Myers at 215. Here's Foster going to throw it for the first time. A little out pattern as Rementer makes the catch, makes a man miss, but could not keep his balance to stay in bounds, but it should be enough for a Twin Valley first down as Rementer's out close to the 40 and moves the sticks for Twin Valley.
A nice hookup there from Foster to Rementer to get a first down.
Maybe not. He actually stepped out of bounds before that. I thought he was out across the 40. It's the opposite side of the field, so they're going to spot him a yard short. So we'll call it 2nd down and 1 coming up for Twin Valley as the line of scrimmage is now at the 37-yard line. So it goes as a 9-yard completion for Foster. Engel shifts back into the backfield. Will hand it off to Engel, and he's trying to spin his way out of a tackle, and he's not going to get out of that tackle. Nydrowski had him by the shoe tops, and I don't know if he got the first down. We'll wait and let the officials spot it. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down.
Nice job by the Wyomissing defense. They were not fooled by the pre-snap motion on that play.
So it's 3rd down and 1 now for the Raiders. Line of scrimmage technically is the 37-yard line. Engel remains the back in the backfield. Tom Summers is now in there as a receiver slot left. Doesn't matter. They're going to Engel, and the power up front will push the pile forward. Nydrowski and Eisenhower on the tackle, but not before Twin Valley picks up its 3rd first down of this first quarter. 1st and 10 now at the 43-yard line as Twin Valley needed a yard, and Engel got 6. Joey Buckley, the fullback, shifts from left side to right wing. Foster going to roll that way. Has a man wide open is Summer into Wyomissing territory. Dom Summers on the catch down to the Spartan 40-yard line. Another first down for Twin Valley.
Nice play by Maverick Foster. Rolls to his right, fires a strike right to Dom Summers. He's unfazed, Bob, by this Wyomissing defense early on.
To the 39-yard line of Wyomissing, as that's an 18-yard completion, the first one to Summers. And at 1st and 10 at the Spartan 39-yard line. 3:19 to go first quarter. 7-0 Twin Valley, and they're driving again. Here's a little handoff from Myers, a little misdirection trying to get the Spartans off guard, but it doesn't fool Eisenhower. Lucas Myers picks up maybe a yard or 2. Call it 2nd down and about 9. Myers going to remain as the tailback. Grundy split out on the right side. Rementer on the left. Tight end Cabegas is on the left as well. Now Rementer goes in motion behind Foster, and he's going for the home run, looking for Grundy. He's one-on-one with a defender, but it's over the head of everybody. Wayne Reasons was out there one-on-one with Ben Grundy, but Foster just airmailed that over everybody's head. It's incomplete. It's 3rd and 9.
Timing was just a little bit off there, but like you mentioned, Bob, Foster, even too far for the speedy Ben Grundy on that play.
Yeah, it's not an enviable spot for Wayne Reasons to be going one-on-one with Ben Grundy. Now Grundy comes off the field here on 3rd and 9. Engel split out on the right side. Now he goes in motion, and they're going to hand it off to Engel. Engel trying to run the sweep left side. Spartans string it out and will not pick up much daylight. Great job by Armistead, and then Nydrowski chasing him down from behind. Will wrap up Engel at around the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down. An interesting call here for Brett Myers and Twin Valley.
Decision time for the Raiders. Looks like the offense staying on the field, Bob.
So a 2-yard gain for Engel to the 36-yard line. They've got to move it inside the Spartan 30 to the 29. So it's 4th and about 7 coming up for Twin Valley. Again, Grundy still off the field. Rementer split out right. Engel split out left. And again, he'll go in motion. And Wyomissing trying to make sure they don't jump off sides here. Twin Valley trying to catch them off guard and off sides, but the Spartans stayed put. And now play clock is about to hit 0. Did the Twin Valley call the timeout, or did they just take the penalty? Nope, they take the delay of game penalty. They were trying to get the Spartans to jump off sides and turn it into a 4th and 2, but Wyomissing held, and Twin Valley instead will get penalized. And now here comes Ben Grundy to punt. So move it back 5, and the first penalty of the football game goes against the Raiders, and now on comes Grundy to punt. And the return man now for Wyomissing is Dom Arguelles. High snap, Grundy goes up and gets it. It's a high short kick, but a great job by Grundy. And now it's going to take a Twin Valley roll inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Raiders will pin it down at the 1. What an unbelievable play by Ben Grundy.
Fantastic job by Ben Grundy. That could have been disaster for the Raiders, but he recovers, and with a solid bounce, puts the Wyomissing Spartans in terrible field position. Backed up almost as far as you can go, back to their own 1. Fantastic job by Grundy.
To the 1-yard line, indeed. What a great job on special teams, and Matt brought that up. Special teams could come up big in this game, and right now it's Twin Valley coming up with a big special teams play here. 1st and 10 for Wyomissing from their own 1-yard line. 2:23 left to go in quarter number 1. Twin Valley 7, Wyomissing nothing. Spartans starting from their own end zone with sophomore quarterback Brady Eisenhower taking the snap. Nidrowski is the fullback, and it's Nidrowski who gets the call here. He kicks it outside, trying to get somewhere. Grundy comes up to slow him down. Remender there and a bunch of other Twin Valley Raiders to eventually wrap up Nidrowski after a tough gain of maybe 3 yards to the 4-yard line.
Ben Grundy showing his value in all 3 phases of the game so far today, Bob. He's everywhere.
Nidrowski lumbers his way for a gain of about 3. Call it 2nd and 7 from the 4-yard line for the Spartans. Been a great defensive effort so far for Twin Valley. Fleischhood is wing to the right side. Hasn't touched the ball as of yet. Hardy wing on the left, and Nidrowski remains the fullback. And that's who gets the call. Nidrowski finds a hole and fights his way across the 10, and that's going to give Wyomissing a first down. Great patient run by Tyler Nidrowski to find a hole and get the Spartans a first down. Wyomissing more than contented to just try to drive this football as Nidrowski gets 11 yards to the 15-yard line, first down and 10. Clock at 1:20 and counting here in the first quarter. Spartans at the 15-yard line. Great crowd on hand coming out to watch this matchup of state powers. Number 3 in the state, Wyomissing. Number 5 in the state, Twin Valley. Fleischhood's going to go in motion now, and he's going to not get the handoff. It's just the fullback dive again as Nidrowski will push his way forward for a couple to about the 20-yard line. Tyler Nidrowski gets 5 more to put it Spartans in a 2nd and 5.
Raiders showing their speed here on defense. Recovering no matter if it goes to the outside or inside. They seem to always be in the right position.
So it's 2nd and 5 at the 20 now for Wyomissing. Bob Wolfman would not be remiss at all to put this drive together and just plow the football down the field, take time off the clock, and keep Twin Valley's offense on the sideline. 2nd and 5 in the 20. Nidrowski stays in as the fullback. Fleischhood goes in motion. It's right back to Nidrowski again. Nidrowski bounces off a couple of tackles, fighting to try to get the first down, and eventually Twin Valley's pursuit will just not let him get any further. They'll stack him up shy of the first down by about a yard or 2. Looks like he's going to be down at 1 after 4 more yards for Tyler Nidrowski.
Tough running by Nidrowski there to pick up 4 yards and make it 3rd and short.
Nidrowski's carried it 5 times. Chase Eisenhower with just 2 carries so far in this football game. He's not on the field, obviously, in this drive. It's all Nidrowski at fullback. And that is the final play of a fast-moving first quarter. After 1 in Wyomissing, it's Twin Valley 7. The Spartans nothing. We'll take a timeout. More high school football presented by Savage Auto Group when we come back to Spartan Country after this.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis. No matter where you're looking, your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555. Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
We start quarter number 2 alongside Matt Nah. My name is Bob McCool. Exactly what we expected, but not quite. It's a tight game. We expected that. Obviously, with these two teams as prolific as they are offensively, you got to assume there'll be more points scored. Twin Valley's averaging 57 a game, Wymissing's averaging 43 a game, but their defenses are sound. Twin Valley giving up less than 9 a game, and Wymissing a little bit more than 12 a game. It's 7-0 Twin Valley. Wyomissing has started this drive at their own 1. They now have it 3rd and 1 at the 24-yard line. Chase Eisenhower is back in fullback. He's going to get the call. He's going to get the first down as the blocking will lead him to about the 30-yard line. Wyomissing just playing fullback football right now. Nydrowski and now Eisenhower leading the way. And they are now out to the 30-yard line on another set of downs.
Tough run by Eisenhower. And yes, Bob, it's just 3 yards in a cloud of dust, minus the dust as a light rain falls here at Wyomissing. But Wyomissing just content to power this, run it right down Twin Valley's throat.
You talk about an embarrassment of riches. You've got Chase Eisenhower, you got Tyler Nydrowski, and don't forget about Xander Westwood, the junior, who is a load as well. He starts at linebacker. He's their 3rd fullback. Bob Wolfram said to us before the game, in 2 years, I'm going to be wishing I had 1. Right now I got 3, and somebody just jumped off sides. Diamante Strong, the tight end, just jumped, and Wymissing's first penalty will cost them 5 yards. Backs them up to the 25, 1st and 15. But you stick around coming up for our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show. Matt and I will go through all the scores from last night, catch you up to date on another Friday night of high school football in Berks County and beyond, and some interesting scores, and setting up an interesting game for us next week with Exeter coming off their first loss of the season now, going up against an unbeaten Conestoga Valley team. Here's a toss pitch for Hardy, looking for a block. Not much there, but Twin Valley Raiders to the short side of the field on the toss pitch. They get a couple back, but it's going to bring up 2nd and long for Wymissing. Still not enough to overcome the penalty as of yet. Oh, it's 2nd and about 12 to pick up the first.
Nice job by Keenan Munn there to shed his blocker and slow Hardy down.
Spartans so far with Hardy, 5 carries for 18. Nydrowski, 5 for 25. Eisenhower, 3 for 10. Brady Eisenhower's thrown it twice, both of them incomplete. So the Raiders have shut down Wymissing for the most part, have kept the big playability of Wymissing under check. Speaking of which, Hardy will come out now, lined up more as a receiver off the left edge. Play action fake. Eisenhower looking, he's got Strong. The tight end is open out across midfield. The old waggle play works to perfection for Wymissing as Diamante Strong is wide open, and the Spartans are now in Twin Valley territory.
Perfect execution by the Spartans and a nice catch by Strong.
25 yards on the hookup. On the play action fake, Eisenhower finds Strong for the first down. First catch of the season for Diamante Strong. Asked Bob Wolfram before that Southern Columbia game about Diamante Strong. I said, is he just kind of a blocker? He said, oh, no, he can catch it. Hasn't caught it yet, but there it is. First down for Wymissing in Twin Valley territory at the 48. Right back to the fullback. This time it's it's Nydrowski back in there as the fullback, and he'll take it inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Actually, I was right the first time. That was Eisenhower. And Eisenhower picks up 4, makes it 2nd and 6. The Fabrizio now will check in as the receiver, and Strong will come out. 9:50 to go, second quarter. 7-0 Raiders. Wymissing 2nd and 6 from the Twin Valley 44. Nydrowski is in there now as a wing on the right side. Here's a pitch to Fleischer lined up as a fullback, and Twin Valley's all over it. And they get in there and they break it up. Grayson Miller from his defensive tackle spot trips up Fleischer before he can get going. And no gain on the play.
Great tackle by Grayson Miller, and Spartans not fooling this Raiders defense.
Fleischer, first carry of the game, get nothing. It's 3rd and 6 now for the Spartans. Line of scrimmage is the Twin Valley 44-yard line. Eddie White checking in now. He's going to come in as a lineup as a tight end on the right side. And play action fake. Eisenhower looking, dumps it off underneath for Eisenhower. Eisenhower cut down. Great open field tackle by Keenan Munn to trip up Eisenhower shy of the 40 and shy of the first down by about 2 yards, fourth down.
Decision time here for the Spartans. Looks like they might go for it.
Great open field tackle on Eisenhower to prevent him from getting the first down. And a 4-yard pickup. And it is 4th and 2. And as Matt said, it looks like the Spartans are going to go for it here. Eisenhower in as the fullback. Fleischhood wing on the right. Hardy wing on the left. Give is to Eisenhower. Lowers the shoulder and he'll work his way through a lot of Twin Valley Raiders and pick up the first down, and 4 more downs coming up for the Spartans. You got a loaded fullback and a 4-year player in Chase Eisenhower. You need it on 4th and 2. Where do you go? You go to the big fullback, and he picks up about 5 for the first down. Actually, about 4 for the first down, but he only needed 2. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Eisenhower keeps his pad level low, and as they say, Bob, the low man always wins, and there was the proof in the pudding right there. First down for the Spartans.
Eisenhower now will come out, and where do you go? Well, you go to Nidraowski, who started this drive. Again, this drive started at the Wyomissing 1. They're now at the 36. Here's a play-action fake. Eisenhower going to roll out. Flag goes down, and Eisenhower's going to tuck it and run it, and a nice run for Eisenhower as the sophomore takes it inside the 30 and down close to a first down, but a flag from behind the Wyomissing backfield, and that is going to be a hold against the Spartans. Bo Stockholm is our referee today. The umpire is Zach Coyle. Headline is Bruce Estrada. The line judge is Jared White. Side judge Nelson Barrios, and the field judge is Nate Schefter. This 10-yard penalty, a killer for the Spartans, going to back them up and put them back at the 46-yard line, put them in a 1st and 20. $7:40 now left to go in a fast-moving first half. Wyomissing and Twin Valley. Raiders on top 7-0. 1st and 20 now for the Spartans. Here is the handoff to Nidraowski, and Nidraowski finds daylight. He's at the 30, 20, and finally brought down inside the 20-yard line, and they get it all back on one handoff on the full dive to Tyler Nidraowski. Spot the football at the 21. That's a 25-yard fullback dive for Tyler Nidraowski. And the big play ability of the Wyomissing Spartans crack through again as they overcome the holding penalty and now put the drive back in motion. 1st and 10 at the Raider 21-yard line. Twin Valley a little bit confused right now on defense. They'll go right back to Nidraowski and bounces off a couple of tacklers to the 15-yard line and all the way down to about the 13-yard line. Nidraowski just an unstoppable machine right now for the Spartans.
Nidraowski will not be denied. Bob, I think he drug 4 Raiders players about 2 yards there at the end of that run.
The 14-yard line is where they spot him down. That's 7 more for the Spartans. Fleischhood and Arguelles are the halfbacks. Backside and can't wrap him up as it takes more than one Twin Valley Raider to get there to wrap him up. Munn is there, Myers is there, and others as Nidraowski spotted down. We'll call it 11. 3 more for Nidraowski. He's going to put Wyomissing a 3rd down and short, pick up the first down. We'll call it 3rd and 1. From the Twin Valley 12-yard line, 3rd down and 1. Eisenhower back in there. So Eisenhower the fullback, Nidraowski now wing on the left, Fleischhood wing on the right. Hardy splits out as a receiver on the right side on 3rd and 1. Trouble with the snap. It's on the ground, and Wyomissing's Chase Eisenhower will fall on it. Looked like a little bit of a confusion on the snap. Brady Eisenhower, that is the quarterback, came away without the football, was on the ground. Chase Eisenhower falls on it. Back at the 15, they lose 3. It's 4th down and about 4 now for Wyomissing.
Eisenhower really never had that snap. Hard to say if the rain had anything to do with it, as it falls a little harder here in Wyomissing, but lucky that that did not turn into a turnover.
Wyomissing has themselves an outstanding kicker in Keegan Mayer, and Bob Wolfram is going to take the opportunity to put points on the board here, as Mayer is going to come on for what looks to be about a 32-yard field goal, try to get something out of it. Plenty of leg. Did he get it through? He absolutely drilled it with 4:58 left to go in the first half. Wyomissing gets its first points of the game. 7-3 is our score. Twin Valley when we come back after this.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on, so I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, Keith does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
A drive for the Wyomissing Spartans that started its own 1-yard line comes to a stop on that fumble exchange between center and quarterback, and the Spartans end up with a field goal instead of 32 yards, an 18-play drive for Wyomissing. It started with 2:23 left to go in the third. There's 4:58 left in the first. There's 4:58 left to go in the second. So they almost used up an entire quarter of football, and they end up with a field goal out of it. Now we're going to get a penalty before the kickoff.
Bit of an odd kick there by Mayer, force it over to the sideline, but
yeah, I don't know if he
things were a little disjointed on that kickoff.
I'm not sure if he hit the ground on the kickoff, what happened, but going to get him a new football and try it again. Return men for the Raiders, Drew Engel and Ben Grundy back deep. So they're going to get him a clean football, and with the help of umpire Zach Coyle, hopefully a little bit drier football to try to re-kick this football. Brett Myers not real happy about it on the Twin Valley sideline.
See if Mayer intentionally tries to keep it out of the hands of Ben Grundy.
It is a short pooch kick that's kind of in front of everybody and rolling towards the sidelines. Grundy will let it roll out of bounds. And to Matt's point, trying to keep it away from Grundy, Twin Valley will take it at the 35-yard line. Now, you do have the choice, and you can make them re-kick it from 5 yards further back, but most teams generally take it from the 35. It looks like that's what Twin Valley will do with 4:57 to go in the first half. Raiders on top 7-3, and they will start 1st and 10. They are going to make them kick it. They're going to make him re-kick it. Exactly what, as I said, most teams take it out to 35. Brett Myers is saying, you know what? Well, I got Drew Engel back there. I got Ben Grundy back there. Back up 5 yards and do it again. I just think that's a gamble worth taking if you've got a lot of confidence in your kickoff, man, because they're trying to keep it away from them. And if you keep kicking it out of bounds, trying to keep it away from them, you're going to go back up another 5 yards.
Kick return unit, excellent for the Raiders. 4 kick return touchdowns so far this season. I honestly can't blame Coach Myers. Make him kick it again and see if you can break one for a decent return.
So Mayer will try it again. And Engel and Grundy will take a couple steps north. They'll come up a little closer. So we'll see if that changes the way Mayer kicks it off. Going to be a high short kick in the middle of the field. Grundy will take it from about his own 24-yard line. It's already at the 30, 35, and 40. Ball comes loose. Wyomissing picks it up. Diamante Strong has it. So the gamble by Twin Valley does not pay off. Wyomissing comes up with the game's first turnover.
Heads up play by Strong. He was at the right place at the right time to grab that ball. First down, Wyomissing.
So the Spartan offense, who was just on the field for about 10 minutes of game time, is back out there. with 4:49 left to play in the first half. Down 7-3. Will start in Twin Valley territory at the Raider 43-yard line. So Matt said it at the beginning of the game about special teams. Twin Valley had the best of it, but Ben Grundy had it stripped out across the 40. Wyomissing recovers it strong on the recovery. And here comes Wyomissing back at it, down 7-3 from the Twin Valley 43. Here's a handoff to Fleischut, trying to follow his blockers, has some blockers. He's at the 35-30, breaks a tackle down to about the 25-yard line and finally run out of bounds. A first down run for Daniel Fleischut for the Spartans.
Nice job by Fleischut there to wait behind his blockers and get the edge.
See where he stepped out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be at about the 22-yard line. That's a 21-yard run for Fleischut. Just his second touch here in Wyomissing. 4:40 left to go as the clock stopped after Fleischut was out of bounds at the Twin Valley 22. Fabrizio will split out as a receiver on the right side. Fleischut wing on the right. Aguilas wing on the left, and now a timeout call. Twin Valley is going to burn a timeout. Brett Myers and his defense want to talk things over. We'll take a breather as well. With 4:40 to go, we're back in 30 seconds to Wyomissing, with Wyomissing driving and Twin Valley leading 7-3.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, ensuring what is most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
So the Twin Valley coaching staff trying to give their defense a little bit of a breather. The Wyomissing offense, again, a 10-minute drive, and then they recover the fumble after the kickoff. So the Spartans offense has been on the field a lot, which means Twin Valley's defense has been on the field a lot. Maybe just a moment to compose themselves, Matt, before this big first down play coming up for Wyomissing.
I like that timeout by Coach Myers. Regroup your defense. I also feel like the momentum shifted here in Wyomissing's favor. Good way to try to break that with the timeout.
Arguelles is in now as the halfback slot on the left side. He goes in motion on 1st and 10 from the 22. And Eisenhower will roll that way. Now wants to throw back the other way for Strong. Strong looking for the blockers. Runs into one of those blockers. And then just lowers his shoulder and runs forward inside the 20 and down to about the 17-yard line. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective for about a 5-yard gain.
5 yards. Strong looked like he had a little bit of a hard time finding his footing there and bowls into one of his teammates. But like you said, Bob, positive gain.
Monte Strong does tip the scales at 200 pounds, and he ran right up the back of one of his blockers and then just pushed forward for a 2nd down and 5 now coming up for the Spartans at the 17-yard line. Hardy's still not on the field. Arguelles is that other halfback, and it's Chase Eisenhower, the fullback. Nothing doing that time. Great job of stuffing the middle that time by Liam Sheehan and company up front for Twin Valley as Eisenhower gets nothing on that play. Call it 3rd down and 5.
Great job by Grayson Miller of Twin Valley to plug up that interior and shut down the play.
Clock continuing to run. 3:35 left to go in the first half. Spartans still looking for their first touchdown. They trail at 7-3. Eisenhower stays in as the fullback. Fleischut wing right. Arguelles wing left. And it's a reverse. It's a handoff for Arguelles. Makes the first man miss. Trying to turn the edge, and finally they string him out close to the 10-yard line. Grundy doing a good job to stringing that play out and running Arguelles out of bounds, and we'll see how close he got to the first down. Needed 5, and it looks like he got enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 for Wyomissing. Asked Bob Wolfram about Dom Arguelles before the game. He got a big smile on his face. Said he didn't come out last year, and we're happy to have him back. He's got a lot of potential as he kind of configures things a little bit, and he runs to the 11-yard line and gains 6 on his first carry. 1st down and 10 for Wyomissing. Right back to, it's a reverse handoff for Fleischut. They faked the handoff to Chase Eisenhower and gave it to Fleischut instead. And Fleischut pulls his way forward to about the 7 or 8-yard line. Gain of 3, call it 2nd and 7.
As we dip under 3 minutes to go here in the first half, I have a feeling Wyomissing can tend to run as much time off this clock as possible.
Eddie White will check back in now. DeFabrizio back out. So White now again, was the starting quarterback last year. Now the backup quarterback. He's kind of serving as a second tight end for Wyomissing this afternoon, as the Spartans have it on 2nd and 7. Ideally for Wyomissing, they put it in the end zone. They don't give the ball back to this Twin Valley offense before the end of the half. And Twin Valley will get the football to start quarter number 3. Here's Eisenhower just pushing forward. Tackles all over him. Lots of bodies around him. Grayson Miller had him by the waist and was holding on as Eisenhower pushes maybe to the 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 coming up. Clock at 2:10 and counting for the Spartans. So plenty of time, and Wyomissing has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Twin Valley used 1 of them. So big spot here. 3rd down and 4 from the 5. Wyomissing not thinking field goal here, but if they get stopped, that may change their thought process. Eisenhower, the fullback. And play action fake on the handoff to Fleischhood. Good job of tripping him up in the backfield. Keenan Munn slowed him down, and then the pursuit wraps him up. Maybe a gain of a yard or so, and that's it. It's going to bring up 4th down now for Wyomissing.
Lucas Myers out there helping on the tackle. Big 4th down decision here for the Spartans.
4th and about 3 from the 4 for Wyomissing. Clock still running, and they're going to let the clock run down before they call it out here. So Wyomissing is we'll do a little clock management here. Still another 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're going to run it down. And we'll see if they don't send a field goal unit out here to try to get 3 more points out of this first half. That what you would think is what they're going to do, if they're going to run the clock down. And now they'll call the timeout, stop it with 1:04 left to go. So as we mentioned a moment ago, the goal for Wyomissing is get points out of this and also eat up as much time as possible so Twin Valley has less time to work with.
And they've achieved that first part of that as there's just 1:04 left in the first half. They want to shorten this game as much as possible. Twin Valley coming in averaging 58 points a game. Well, they're not going to score 58 points if they only have 6 or 7 possessions in the game. So Wyomissing doing a great job managing the clock.
I was waiting and see, and finally the last man to walk out of the field was the kicker, Keegan Mayer. So I'm waiting to see who's going to be the last man out there, and it was the kicker, Keegan Mayer. Mayer just made one from 32 yards out. So the Spartans will run Keegan Mayer out there to kick. Austin Lecker, a senior, is the holder. Xander Westwood is the long snapper. And what will be a 21-yard attempt from the right hash mark for the right-footed kicker, Keegan Mayer. Not much more than an extra point attempt right now. Snap a little bit high, but Mayer bangs it through without a problem. And the Wyomissing Spartans eat some time off the clock. They did leave 1:02 left as Wyomissing comes back and gets its 2nd straight field goal now and makes it a 7-6 game. We'll keep it here. 1:02 left to go. And again, that was all set up by that fumble on the kickoff return that gave Wyomissing a short field. But to Twin Valley's credit, they kept Wyomissing to just 3 points.
Kept them out of the end zone, and that's big. It'll be interesting to see how Brett Myers plays this with 1:02 remaining. Something tells me it's going to be decided after the kickoff, depending on how this kick return goes for the Raiders. Is he going to be aggressive or conservative?
So again, Ben Grundy and Drew Engel are those return guys. And as we talked about the last time, they are dangerous. And it was a great kickoff return by Grundy right up until it wasn't, as he fumbled it. So I'm sure he wants another opportunity here. Well, the Spartans give him that opportunity. Well, choose your poison back there because the other one's Drew Engel. So we'll see if the Spartans don't maybe just kick this along the ground. It's like Twin Valley thinking that. They're bringing everybody up a little bit tighter, thinking maybe Mayer is just going to try to squib this along the ground, cut down the possibilities of the return. Interesting. Justice Hardy is out there on special teams. He was not out there a whole lot in that last drive for Wyomissing. And they went a little bit more with Fleischhood as the main back. And here is Grundy. He's going to take it from about his own 18-yard line. Runs into his own blocker, and that slows him down. There was a hole, but unfortunately for Grundy, he ran into one of his own blockers, and then Wyomissing was there to wrap him up at about the 31-yard line. So 56 seconds and 2 timeouts for Twin Valley to work with. This is just the 3rd offensive possession of this half for Twin Valley. They cashed it in on the first one with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard right now at 7-6. They start with 56 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with. 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Foster will reverse from Myers back to Engel, and Wyomissing is there and wraps him up. Nydrowski was not fooled. He wraps up Engel on the reverse handoff to about the 33 and a gain of just 2.
Nice job by Nydrowski and Eisenhower to stay home, not be fooled by the reverse.
2nd down and 8. Clock continuing to run. 35 seconds left to go in the half. Doesn't look like Brett Myers is going to use the timeouts here and let this clock run down. I think if you told him before the game you'd head into the locker room at halftime missing with a lead, I'm sure he had probably said, I'm good, let's go. I'll take that. Down to 20 seconds to go. Engel goes in motion now, and he can have his to Myers up the field, and the ball comes loose. Ball popped free, and who comes up with it? It looks like Twin Valley will keep it. Lucas Myers had it poked loose, and Joey Buckley was there. The fullback falls on it. Twin Valley keeps possession. And what Twin Valley will not take another chance now. They fumbled it once. They almost fumbled it a second time, but Twin Valley recovers it, and the Raiders will head to the locker room at Bob Wolfram Field with the lead. 2 state-ranked teams, high-scoring teams. It's a defensive struggle so far through 2 quarters. We'll take a timeout back with our halftime show from Wyomissing with the Spartans trailing the Raiders 7-6 at the break.
Is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive home. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
Find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner. Call 610-345-738.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
Today's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. Alongside Matt, my name is Bob McCool. The Wyomissing Spartans, the Twin Valley Raiders in this matchup of state-ranked teams and unbeaten teams, high-scoring teams, but it's been the defense that's been the difference so far in this one, as Twin Valley leads it by a score of 7-6. Here's how we got to this point. Wyomissing had the football first, picked up 1 first down, and that was it. Had to punt the football away. And Twin Valley on its first play, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, handed off to Drew Engel, who took it the other way, all the way down to the 17-yard line, as Engel goes 53 yards, puts Twin Valley in a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line, and eventually got them to a 2nd and goal from the 3, and Lucas Myers punched it in for the touchdown for Twin Valley. The extra point by Nate Schaefer was good, and with 6:40 to go in the first quarter, Twin Valley was on the scoreboard first at 7-0. Wyomissing unable to get anything going in their second series, and then the defenses took over for this for a little bit. Then ultimately, Twin Valley punted on a short field and backed up on a great punt by Ben Grundy all the way down to the 1-yard line. Wyomissing with 2:23 left to go in the first quarter, down 7-0. Started from their own 1-yard line and just pounded and pounded and pounded with the football right up until they threw it on a little waggle pass to Diamante Strong. They got them in the other side of the 50-yard line. Ultimately, however, the drive comes to a stop as Wyomissing lining up in a 4th and 4 at the Twin Valley 3rd and 1 at the Twin Valley 12. A problem on the exchange between center and quarterback. The ball was on the ground. Chase Eisenhower fell on it, and Wyomissing sat on a 4th and 4 at the 15. Bob Wolfram sent on the field goal unit. Keegan Mayer comes on to make the 32-yard field goal. And then Twin Valley fumbled kickoff return. Ben Grundy had the ball poked loose. Diamante Strong fell on it, and Wyomissing got the ball right back at the Twin Valley 43-yard line. Got it down to a 4th and 3 at the 4, and Bob Wolfram again elected to take some points out of it. Keegan Mayer on to attempt the field goal and made it a 7-6 game, and that's where we stand. 7-6 is our score. And so, Matt, that's why I always say that statistics can be the great liar. 58 points a game for Twin Valley, 43, 44 points for Wyomissing, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes defense wins out. And, again, defense, some mistakes here and there. But I'm a little surprised that it's 7-6, but I'm not surprised it's a little bit lower scoring game than most people would think.
Lots of talk about the offenses in pregame, and rightfully so. But as you mentioned, Bob, the defense is showing their strength here today. Possessions are at a premium, but Twin Valley's defense, while the focus has been on the offense, Twin Valley's defense entered this game 3rd in District 3 in scoring defense, allowing just 8.5 points per game. They've allowed 6 to Wyomissing so far. It's just one of those kind of games, ground and pound, couple possessions for each team. Teams content to chew up the clock, try to take control of this game. It'll be a very interesting second half. I think points will continue to be at a premium.
And I think the other piece of this puzzle, you mentioned about Twin Valley defensively in this game in terms of staying in their lanes and playing assignment football, which is what you have to do. I mean, it's what you have to do in any kind of defense, but especially in the wing tee, because what they'll like to do is they'll make you think it's going one way and then it comes back the other way. But again, Twin Valley doesn't run the Bob Wolfram Wyomissing Delaware wing tee, but they run a version of it. And so I think it helps that you're playing against a very dynamic offense in practice every day. And I think that helps the defensive side for Twin Valley to not be caught off guard, not be looking one way and have it come back the other way. But Twin Valley's been really good and making sure that Wyomissing, in terms of anything misdirection-wise, the Twin Valley Raiders have been there to kind of shut that down.
That is correct. They haven't been caught out of position. They haven't allowed that big play, that backbreaker. And like you mentioned, Bob, at practice, you got Drew Engel, you got Ben Grundy. So you got 2 speedsters out there that you can practice with and sort of figure that out. And as we talked about a little bit in the pregame, Coach Myers, Wyomissing, no stranger to him based on his previous experience at Middletown and all their postseason matchups. I don't think either team's really fooling one another here today. It's just whoever can execute better.
And we talked about this briefly in a pregame show, but I think it's worth mentioning that most teams come to Wyomissing on a Saturday afternoon and probably wish the bus driver would drive a little slower to get here. They don't really want to get here, but they have to come here. It's a much different scenario for Twin Valley, because Twin Valley for years, no doubt, was one of those teams. I don't really want to have to come and play against Wyomissing, but they had to play if they were on the schedule. Different story now. Brett Myers has turned this program so far around and turned it into becoming such a good program that here they are at Wyomissing going toe-to-toe with the Spartans and headed to the locker room with a lead.
This Raiders showed up with a business-like mentality, and they showed that throughout the staff. Really, both teams did. Talking to Coach Wolfram on the Wyomissing side, he said, while this is obviously not a playoff game, the playoff-like intensity starts today for the Spartans. They had a little bit more energy at practice this week. He said, both teams, this is a business trip for the Raiders and a very important game here at home for Wyomissing that'll have playoff implications, and we'll see. There's always a chance these two teams could meet later on down the road.
Absolutely. It happened last year, and of course, the other piece of the puzzle that lying in the weeds out there in Section 4 of the League's 11 League is Lampeter Strasburg, who, of course, beat both of these two teams last year and won the section and ultimately won the district playoffs at Twin Valley and Wyomissing's expense. We had both of those games. The win for Lampeter Strasburg over Twin Valley in the semifinal, 31-13. And then, of course, the great overtime game last year between LS and Wyomissing. And Lampeter Strasburg won that game, made it all the way to the state championship game, and they're still out there. I think a lot of people thought that Lampeter Strasburg would drop off a little bit in 2025, but the Pioneers are right there with everybody with only one loss on the season, but unbeaten in the section. And guess what? Twin Valley next week, home against Lampeter Strasburg. In Week 10, Wyomissing at Lampeter Strasburg. So it's still going to come down to those three teams in the thick of things for the section, and to your point, battling for who's going to face whom ultimately in District 3 and 4A because all three of them are very much in the thick of it at the top of those standings.
I'm sure if you ask Coach Myers and the Raiders, they were solely focused on Wyomissing. But entering this season, it had to be in the back of their minds that they started 7-0 last year, finished 1-2 in their last 3 regular season games. And if you count their 2 playoff games, they finished 2-3 in their last 5 games overall. That had to leave a sour taste in their mouth all spring. And that's in the back of their minds coming into this year. 7-0 once again, same schedule, their locations flip, but the same exact schedule. They're going to try their hardest to not finish this regular season 1-2 and go into the postseason with a little bit more confidence and momentum.
And again, rain continuing to fall here at Wyomissing. Not a heavy rain, but just kind of a misty rain. Now, whether it's a coincidence that we saw a couple of fumbles at the tail end of that second quarter, I don't want to take anything away from the hard-hitting aspect of the football game, but there were 2 fumbles in the first, nothing in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, a couple of fumbles. Turned out to be both for Twin Valley. They lost one. They recovered the other at the end of that second quarter. But with the rain, you start thinking about that, and you also think about slips and falls at some point in time on this grass surface here at Wyomissing. So the rain could be a factor in quarter number 3 and 4 with 2 teams who predominantly want to keep the ball on the ground.
And it's been a dry fall in Berks County and beyond, Bob. This is probably the first game all season that either team has played in any kind of rain. Obviously, you can practice in the rain, but it's been sunshine and warm days, but here we are getting a little bit more into the football weather, and we have a football game here, 7-6, old.
Absolutely true, and we're going to take a timeout. Nothing does old school quite like a Saturday afternoon in Wyomissing. Great crowd on hand. You know, anybody who wants to know what's going on in Wyomissing and Twin Valley, tell them to tune in, 8:30 WEEU Sports on our YouTube channel as we get ready for the start of the second half. Before we do that, we come back with our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show. We're going to run through the last night's scoreboard and tell you what all happened in week number 8 in a high school football season. We'll have that rundown of the scoreboard when we come back with more halftime presented by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating on WEEU in Reddick.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis. No matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on, so I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, Keith does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com.
Welcome back to our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show alongside Matt Now. My name is Bob McCool. There's a lot of WEEU people here. Where do these people keep coming? You know why? It's raining. That's why everybody's coming to see us, Matt. It's raining out. And
Nobody's back in the studio today, so they're all out here at the field, but they come and visit us because we're in the dry.
No, Sean Tansky is our studio here on this YouTube afternoon. Of course, Penn State football on the radio this afternoon. We do have more high school football to tell you about the next 2 weeks. Before Matt runs down the scoreboard for it last night, let me just tell you a little bit about what's on Week 9 and Week 10's table on WEU. Next Friday night, we will be at Conestoga Valley. Conestoga Valley hosting Exeter, battling for the top of Section 2 of the LL. We'll have that one for you. Our pregame show, as usual, at 6:30 on the radio and our video stream as well. And then in Week 10, it's shaping up to be, as usual, it seems, Wilson and Manheim Township battled their way to the top of Section 1. We'll have that much up for you from John Gursky Stadium. So we've got 2 unbeatens today. We've got a battle for Section 2 supremacy next Friday night, and then the battle for Section 1 in Week 10. It's not officially playoff season, but what it's going to look like playoff season on WEEU over the course of the next couple of weeks. Enough about that. Matt's going to fill you in now on the scoreboard on a busy Thursday and Friday this week in Lancaster Lemon League and Berks County football.
Real quick, we'll start with the Friday game we had last night on WEEU. Schuylkill Valley against Hamburg in the Frost Bowl at Leesport. Schuylkill Valley with the 31-13 victory, and the pop pass was working, Bob.
Yeah, it was. That little pop pass to Brad by, again, Matt Lytle and Bruce Harbaugh, 2 quarterbacks who, want to take possession of that, but they called a shuffle pass. I called it a pop pass. Coach Harbaugh yelled at me in the postgame show. I can take the yelling. That's fine. It's call it what you want, but call it a touchdown for around 84 yards, but that was the backbreaker. It was 14-13. Hamburg had kept it close in the first half, but that kind of started Schuylkill Valley on the run in the second half.
Wilson continued their tear last night. They beat Penn Manor 42-7. The first-year starting quarterback, Mason Young, he had 2 passing touchdowns. Wilson 7-1 on the season, and like you mentioned, Bob, see them again in a couple weeks for the big one against Manheim Township. Speaking of the Blue Streaks, they shut out Reading 49-0. Manheim Township 7-1 overall, undefeated in league play. Cedar Crest beats McCaskey 48-6. McCaskey winless on the season. Cedar Crest improves to 4-4. One of the surprises of the evening in a non-league game, Hempfield, the 6A school, they beat Exeter, a 5A, 30-28. Exeter, their first loss of the season. They went for 2 at the end of the game to tie. They were stopped short, and that's the way it ended. A big win for Hempfield to improve to 5-3. We'll see Exeter this coming Friday against Conestoga Valley. Obviously, doesn't affect the section standings.
Correct, but it's a very tough spot for Exeter. They had the big win last week against Muhlenberg. That was 2 unbeatens going after one another, and a lot of build up for that. You win that game, and now you got Conestoga Valley next week. So the meat in that sandwich is Hempfield, who's a good team, and as you said, a Section 1 team who gave Wilson a battle the week before. I remember listening while we were doing the Mifflin Conestoga Valley game, and you guys were giving updates on that, and Hempfield was up on Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, at halftime of that football game. So it's a good Hempfield team and a tough sandwich game for Exeter. As you said, it hurts them in terms of the district playoffs, doesn't hurt them in the section because obviously they are both still unbeaten, Conestoga Valley and Exeter at the top of Section 2.
Speaking of the Buckskins, Conestoga Valley to E-Town 42-7 last night. They are 8-0 overall, 4-0 in the section. Governor Mifflin got a big win over Lebanon, 49-7. The Cedars have lost 50 straight games. 3 touchdowns for the Mustangs. Patrick Stewart. Muhlenberg 33, Ephrata 28. It was a 21-yard touchdown pass from Baez to Miller for the lead late in that one, and Muhlenberg improves to 7-1 on the season. A nice season so far for the Mules.
Yes, absolutely. I was really curious to see how that would be. Getting right back to what we talked about, the Exeter Muhlenberg game and all the build up for Muhlenberg. They're in that game going in at 6-0. How would they respond to that
after
first
the big loss?
Yep, and a good Ephrata team. Exeter, if my memory's right, like 24-7, something like that. It was a pretty close game, especially considering what Exeter's done to everybody else. So Ephrata gave a battle. How would Muhlenberg respond to that? Because the playoffs are still in the horizon for Muhlenberg, and if Rob Flowers can get that team a District 3 playoff program, a District 3 playoff game, that program, that would be such a huge win for Muhlenberg moving forward. 6 wins, 7 wins is probably going to get you there. 8 wins get you there, and that's what they have to think about with now 2 games left to go. And by the way, one of those 2 is Conestoga Valley in Week 10. So the Mules still have a lot of work to do, but that's a huge win for Muhlenberg. That's kind of almost a bit of a statement win for the Mules.
Statement win for the Mules, and like you mentioned, Bob, still a lot to play for here moving forward. Solanco beat up on Cocalco 38-7. The Mules are 7-1 overall. Warwick shut out Conrad Weiser 20-0. Heath Schnipke had 2 touchdown runs for Warwick. Manheim Central 42, Fleetwood 3. Manheim Central is 5-3 on the season. A non-league game, Garden Spot 34, Bristol 20. Garden Spot improves to 4-4. LS, as you talked about, Bob, sort of hiding in the weeds. They won't be hiding much longer because the regular season's coming to an end. But they get a win last night over Elko, 36-14. LS is 7-1, 5-0 in league play. Octorara 56, Northern Lebanon 31. Octorara is now 4-4. Anvil Cleona 35, Pequea Valley 14. You saw Schuylkill Valley and Hamburg last night. The two teams battling it out for the lead in Section 5. That's Berks Catholic and Anvil Cleona. And AC is 7-1, 5-0 in league play. Lancaster Catholic beat Kutztown 49-7. And on Thursday, it was Berks Catholic with the big win over Columbia, 37-0. They will play Anvil Cleona here before the regular season ends, and that will be your de facto championship game for LL Section 5. And here we are at Wyomissing, Bob, and it's 7-6.
Yep, and one more game to be played on Monday. I know you guys talked about this last night. Donegal and Daniel Boone. Unfortunately, traffic accident at Donegal, and one of their student athletes was killed in that traffic accident. The services are Monday, and so the football game was moved till Monday night, 6 o'clock. Daniel Boone and Donegal will play. So our hearts go out to all the student athletes and the students at Donegal High School, and teachers for that matter as well. Obviously, it's a tough thing to overcome in the middle of the school year, but our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to them as they go through that particular spot. So Daniel Boone and Donegal will play one another on Friday nights. Much improved Donegal team. Let's not forget, when Twin Valley played Donegal last year, Donegal was so beaten up and banged up, they didn't come back out to play the second half of that football game, and ultimately just decided that, you know what, we can't do this, and ultimately try to continue this to play out the rest of the schedule. So to their credit, they end up playing out the rest of the schedule, and they're much improved from where they were this year. They have stayed in a lot of their games, and they've won a couple of games this year, and that's a tough thing to do. And speaking of which, we were talking with both Bob Wolfram, and I talked with Frank Ferrandino, the athletic director here at Wyomissing as well before the game, and Brett Myers, that the expectation is that the schedules will come out in the next couple. They think it will come out within the next week of next year's schedules for the Lancaster Lebanon League. And a little bit of a spoiler alert, a little bit of a story update for you, that Brett Myers told us that Twin Valley is going to move up. They're in Section 4 right now. They're going to move up into Section 3. Now, it's all done based on enrollment numbers, but Twin Valley is going to move up to Section 3 next year. So Wyomissing will stay in Section 4. Twin Valley will move up to Section 3.
And if my memory is correct, Bob, when the LL formed, Twin Valley played the first 2 years in Section 3 before moving down to Section 4.
Right. So it's all about enrollment numbers, and you can lobby to move in one direction or the other if you so choose. Because technically, Wyomissing, if I'm not mistaken, I think Wyomissing could be enrollment-wise, they could be in 5. But they obviously want to take on whatever they can. But both these two teams, I'm not surprised, are struggling to find teams to play them in non-leaguers. Not surprised. Wyomissing has always struggled with this in terms of trying to find teams that want to play them in non-leaguers. But we do know this. The only thing we do know is that we found this out in week 1, talking with both Jim Roth at Southern Columbia and Bob Wolfram and Frank Ferrandino. The Wyomissing Southern Columbia rivalry game will continue, and that'll be another week 1 game, and it'll be back here at Bob Wolfram Field next year. So we've done that game now the last 2 years, and we had the opportunity to go up to Southern Columbia for week 1 this year, and it was a great atmosphere. And again, Southern Columbia, it's just such a great atmosphere to be in. 2 great football programs and 2 just unbelievable coaches in Jim Roth and Bob Wolfram. So Wyomissing and Southern Columbia, they will renew that in 2026. But now they're just trying to find a couple of dance partners for week 2 and week 3. So we'll see what happens. I had to throw my 2 cents in there, and I said to Frank Ferrandino, Berks Catholic would be a great idea. So I just started throwing it out there.
Did you get a chuckle out of him, Bob?
I said, well, he's like, well, I think we'd probably play him if they want to play. I just started throwing it out there. Might have said yes. Might have said no. You never know unless you ask.
I'm always in favor of more rivalry games. Obviously, the backyard brawl dormant at this time with the 2 teams being in different sections. But as you mentioned, Bob, Wyomissing having a hard time finding non-league opponents. They've gone outside of the PIAA these last 2 years to pick up some early season games. They've had success in those games, but an important thing to consider is those games don't factor into your District 3 power rating. It hasn't hurt Wyomissing this year, obviously, because they're undefeated regardless. But that's something to consider as these teams jockey for playoff position. And both of these teams at near the top of the District 3 Class 4A power rankings heading into this week. Twin Valley entered in this week 4th, and Wyomissing was number 1 in those District 3 Class 4A power ratings. Obviously, as every result comes in, the ratings change. So after Friday night's game and today's game, things will be a little bit different moving forward.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We get back. It's time for kickoff in the second half as our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show winds to a conclusion. Twin Valley and Wyomissing with the Raiders on top 7-6.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Wyomissing had the football to start the game, and so Twin Valley will get it to start the third quarter. And our second half kickoff is presented by Financial Planning Advisors. Their team of professional advisors can help guide your investment planning, retirement planning, or planning for the cost of your child's college education. Less than 2% of high school athletes receive a college scholarship. Financial Planning Advisors can help you plan for the increasing costs of college. Get Financial Planning Advisors working on your team. Call them 610-376-6334. That's 610-376-6334, or go to financialpa.com. 7-6 is our score as we're set to start half number 2 here from damp Bob Wolfram Field. Right now, it looks like the umbrellas that we're trying to start to block our view are got down, so that's a good thing. Hopefully the showers have stopped, at least for the time being, as we get set to start half number 2. 7-6 again as I score. Twin Valley on top of the Wyomissing Spartans. Keegan Mayer will kick it off for Wyomissing. Drew Engel and Ben Grundy are back there deep. Now they have flipped sides from where they were in the first half of those kickoffs, with Grundy back left for the defense for the kickoff return. Another high short kick and a fair catch called for by the return man Chase Riley, actually calling for a fair catch, which you can do on a kickoff, not just on a punt. So he'll call for it at the about the 30-yard line. That's where Twin Valley will go to work. Maverick Foster, 3 for 4 in the first half for just 26 yards. Joe Engel ran 6 times for 66. Of course, 53 of them were in the first play from scrimmage. Lucas Myers, 5 times for 16 yards. So not a whole lot of offense, obviously, for either side in a 7-6 game. And Twin Valley starts 1st and 10. And we'll call it right at the 30-yard line to start the second half. Foster from the shotgun, Engel's the back beside him. Buckley, the fullback on a wing, and that's the direction they want to run with Engel, waiting for some kind of blocking. There's not much there. Armistead will come up and load and end it, but a great job by Andrew Bresnahan to take on the blockers and string out the play as Engel gets maybe 2 or 3 yards to the 33-yard line.
Zach Troutman there for Twin Valley with a nice block out on the edge, but the Wyomissing defensive backs just too fast to shut that play down.
2nd and 7 now for the Raiders from the 33-yard line. Chase Riley is in a slot on the left with Ben Grundy split to the left. And Buckley, again, that H-back, going to shift now from right wing to left. And Engel will get the call, trying to go up the middle this time, and nothing there. Wyomissing Spartans and Chase Eisenhower and Tyler Nidrowski just clogging things up. And now Joey Buckley, the H-back, fullback, is shaken up on the play. Liam Sheehan is also slow to get up for Twin Valley, but I think that's a spike issue. A different story for Buckley. He is down right now as Engel brought down at around the 36. He got 3 more on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4 coming up. But right now the concern is Joey Buckley. That's two-way starter because Buckley also starts at defensive end for the Raiders.
And while Buckley is listed as a fullback, he's basically the extra offensive lineman out there, a very important part of this Twin Valley offense.
Yeah, he hasn't carried the football once. It's not the fullback that Wyomissing has with that fullback dive play. He's basically a 6th or even a 7th offensive lineman. And he's 250 pounds to go along with it. But right now, the training staff out tending to him. This kind of looked like he got rolled up on the bottom of that pile. And now he's sitting up, so that's a good thing. So hopefully Buckley will be okay. We'll see how Twin Valley goes from this point forward. Andrew Cabegas is a 215-pound tight end. Buckley having some trouble putting weight on what looks like his right leg. So he gets some help off the field. And now Twin Valley, without him on the field, is in a 3rd down and 4 from the Wyomissing 36-yard line. Opening series of quarter number 3 with Twin Valley on top 6. So they're going to bring another receiver here. Patrick Shanahan is the receiver split out on the left with Chase Riley slot left. And it looks like they're going to move Rementer to that spot. So Ryan Rementer, the other halfback with Riley, is going to move into that spot. He's on a wing on the left. Engel remains as the tailback beside the sophomore quarterback Maverick Fall. 3rd and 4 at the 36-yard line. Obviously, they have got to get to the 40 to move the first down. Twin Valley with 4 first downs in the first half, Wyomissing with 8. Waiting still for them to get Buckley completely off the field. Bo Stockholm holding it up before the referee says, all right, he's clear, let's play. Riley goes in motion. The handoff is to Engel, trying to go left side. Engel looking for some daylight. He might have had just enough to get the first down. Needed to get to the 40, as I said, and it looks like Drew Engel has just enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10, Twin Valley. Nothing special about that, as Engel, just following his blockers, takes it to the 40. And again, Grundy not out there for Twin Valley in this first series. Shanahan is split out on the right side with Riley in the slot. And now Maverick Foster's going to roll that way underneath route for Riley, makes the catch and hit right around the 50-yard line. As Arguelles will come up to make the tackle along with Westwood, and is just shy, it looks like, of the first down marker at the 50. We'll call it 2nd down and 1 coming up for Twin Valley.
Nice throw and catch for the Raiders. Maverick Foster on the run, Bob. He's on target, throws a nice ball.
4 for 5 throwing the football so far as Riley gets his first catch. So the nose of the football just shy of the 50. They've got to get it in the other side of the 50. So technically it's 2nd and 1. Engel will shift back into the backfield beside Foster. He'll get the handoff. He'll get the first down as he pushes forward inside the Spartan 45-yard line and all the way down to the 44. No problem to get the first down for Twin Valley, the 2nd in this series. A new set of downs for the Raiders now at the Wyomissing 44-yard line.
Drew Engel's jersey's getting a little money. He is willing this team down the field, just smash mouth football.
Engel, one of the top rushers in the Lancaster 11 League, now over 700 yards on the season with his now unofficially 83 yards on 10 carries. Engel gets it again, makes a man miss. And the second one is Arguelles. He won't miss, but Engel still moves it inside the 40 and down to the 39. That's 5 more for Drew Engel.
Nice tackle by Dominic Arguelles there to not let Engel break free.
Again, Engel missed significant time last year, got hurt in the first game of the season against Berks Catholic, and did not return until the playoff game, to the district playoff games. Missed 11 games in total as a junior last year, and left the bulk of the ball carrying to Eden Johnson. But getting the work of the bulk of the carries today, now 11 carries, 2nd and 5, and he's going to get another one here. Just waiting for his blockers, then following those blockers and pushing forward, and he's going to be just shy of the first down. Westwood trips him up at the 35. It's going to be another 3rd and 1 coming up for Twin Valley. 4 more for Engel.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but I do not believe we've seen Lucas Myers on offense in this possession so far.
We have not. 3rd and 1. It's all Engel so far, except for that pass from Foster. And now this time he has stood up and dropped. Flag comes in at the end of play. Xander Westwood in there, and he just hit him nose to nose and pushed him backwards. And a penalty on the play against Twin Valley. And with that, Matt just called for it. Lucas Myers now will come in and Engel will come out. So they'll back him up 5. The penalty is against Twin Valley, just a 2nd against the Raiders. And so now it's 3rd down and 6 on the 5-yard penalty. Back at the 40-yard line. So Myers now is the tailback as Engel comes out after that big stick. Rementer, the H-back, goes in motion from right side to left. Foster going to roll that way. Looks for the underneath route. Diving catch. It's made by Shanahan. Good for a first down at the Wyomissing 30-yard line.
Great job by Shanahan to come back to the ball. Slightly underthrown by Foster, but Shanahan got his hands under it, and that's a first down.
At the Spartan 30, they needed 6. They get 10 as Foster comes up with another completed pass. As Shanahan gets his first catch. So 5 completions in this game for Maverick Foster, and 5 different receivers have caught it. Shanahan splits out to the right. Riley split to the left. And Myers remains as the tailback. Now Riley will go in motion, and Myers is going to get the call. Myers makes the first man miss, keeps on running. First down and more, and finally Lucas Myers is brought down inside the 15 and down close to the Wyomissing 12-yard line.
The Raiders go to the well again with another interior run, and Lucas Myers with the big gain.
See exactly where they spotted the football down here. It looks like it's at around the 11 or 12-yard line. So an 18-yard run for Myers, his longest of the game, and it's 1st and 10 at the 11 for Twin Valley. 8 minutes left to go. First offensive series in the second half. Right back to Myers. Myers gets popped this time as Westwood clips him right at the line of scrimmage, but Myers is still strong enough to push forward inside the 11 or inside the 10 to about up 3 yards for Lucas Myers. Call it 2nd and 7. So a 4.5-minute drive already for Twin Valley, and they still have 8 more yards to go. 2nd and 7 at the 8. Myers stays in, sidecar left to Foster in the backfield. Riley goes in motion from right side to left. Fake the handoff to Myers. They throw it to Riley, and Wyomissing is there. Good play by Justice Hardy to come up and make the tackle and deny the first down pickup. It is a gain, but not enough for the first down. It'll be 3rd down coming up for Twin Valley.
Nice job by the Wyomissing defense. They read that play all the way.
Looks like they're going to spot it at the 9. That's actually a loss on the play, if that's the case. So it goes as a completion, but a loss on the play and the catch by Riley. So we'll call it 3rd and about 3 or 4 to pick up the first down for Twin Valley at the 9-yard line. Going to give it back to Myers, but a whistle and a flag on the snap. If this is against Twin Valley, no, it's against Wyomissing. It's going to give Twin Valley the first down. On 3rd and about 3 or 4, it looks like Wyomissing lined up off sides, and that penalty is going to give the first down to Twin Valley.
Costly penalty for the Spartans to give the Raiders a fresh set of downs.
It's going to move the football inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, and it will be first down, goal to go. No, it's only half the distance. I stand corrected, so it's not a first down. It'll be half the distance to the goal line, so we'll call it 3rd and about 1.5 yards to pick up the first down. Called at the 7-yard line. Give is to Myers. Myers looks for daylight. Did he get in? He did. Lucas Myers in the end zone. Touchdown, Twin Valley.
One of Myers' easier runs of the day, if you could say that, as he powers his way into the end zone, extending the Twin Valley lead.
So Twin Valley now with a 7-point difference on the scoreboard. And on comes Schaefer to attempt the extra point. And Gavin Foster, the freshman, is the holder.
Raiders shoot up nearly half the quarter on that drive.
Snap good, hold down, and the extra point is good. 6:23 left to go. As Matt said, almost an entire half of the 3rd quarter, but Twin Valley extends its lead. It's the Raiders 14. Wyomissing 6. Back with more high school football on WEEU after this.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338. Twin Valley with a little pooch kick, just kind of like what Wyomissing's done, trying to keep it away from Justice Hardy, the return man. The ball goes out of bounds. And so what will Wyomissing do? Will they take it at 35? Will they make him kick it again?
Coaches seem content to test the waters with the kick to the sidelines, and obviously knowing the risk that it will be a flag if it goes out of bounds.
So Wyomissing does not get the football until 6:23 remaining in the first quarter. Right now, Twin Valley doing a little bit to Wyomissing what Wyomissing usually does to other people, chewing up time on the clock and getting points out of it as well. As a 14-play, 70-yard drive for the Raiders puts them on top 14-6. It's still a one-score game with the potential of a two-point conversion here for Wyomissing as they start this after the kick out of bounds at the 35-yard line. The give is to Chase Eisenhower, and the fullback will lumber his way for a couple out to about the 39-yard line, picking up 4 along the way. Second down and 6.
Late shift there on defense for the Raiders, but they read the play the whole way.
Looking to see, Justice Hardy was out there on defense, but what hasn't been on the offensive side of the field for Wyomissing a whole lot. He was back there on special teams. He is out there now on offense. So second down and 6. Hardy's carried it just 5 times in this football game for 18 yards. This time it's Fleischhood trying to get outside, short side of the field, and will not get there. Flag goes down as Lucas Myers brings Fleischhood down from behind. Flag thrown away from the play.
Great job by Lucas Myers there in pursuit of the ball carry. We'll see what the penalty is.
Looks like they're pointing in the direction of the Spartans as Fleischhood was brought down at the line of scrimmage. They asked Brett Myers whether he wants the play or the penalty, and he's going to take the penalty. Back the Wyomissing Spartans up. 5th penalty of the game against the Spartans, going to back them up inside their own 30, down to the 28-yard line. So it remains second down now for Wyomissing. About 18 or 19 to pick up the first down. DeFabrizio is the split end on the right side. Hardy goes out that way as well as Eisenhower rolls that way. Sophomore quarterback looking for somebody open. Can't find anybody open. DeFabrizio was his target. It's incomplete. It's going to bring up third down.
Eisenhower's feeling the heat there. Ryan Rementer, the linebacker for Twin Valley, had the pressure, forced that incompletion.
So it'll bring up third down, about 18 for the Spartans. Eisenhower 3 for 6 throwing the football on the afternoon. Does stop the clock with 5:26 left in the third.
Wyomissing for a 3rd and 16.
They've got to get all the way out across the 45-yard line to pick up the first down here on third down. They're at their own 28-yard line. Counter, here's the handoff for Fleischhood, trying to pick his way. Mentor and Myers there to wrap him up at around the 36 or 37-yard line. So they get back what they lost in the holding penalty. And they'll put Wyomissing in a 4th and 9.
That's a big stop for Twin Valley to stop Wyomissing on its first possession of the second half.
So from the 37-yard line, Keenan Mayer back in there to kick. Keenan Mayer does both the punting and the kicking for the Spartans. As Fleischhood got 9, and Grundy back to return the punt for the Spartans. Everybody else for Twin Valley up near the line of scrimmage. Good snap back. Mayer has plenty of time. Grundy thought about putting up the hand for the fair catch. Didn't. Wyomissing will recover. I don't think it touched his hand. The Spartans are hoping, but it did not. And it will be Wyomissing football. Some Spartan fans beneath us who think that the ball touched Ben Grundy's hand. But it is Twin Valley football with the Raiders on top 14-6 and 4:42 left to play in the third quarter. Raiders on top 14-6. They've got the football. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Huge series coming up here. Twin Valley with the lead. Would love to kill some time on the clock and obviously hope to add on to their lead. Grundy now back out on the field offensively. He is actually in a slot on the right side with Riley split out right. And the give is to Engel. Nothing doing that time as Wyomissing's Andrew Bresnahan slips in around the edge and makes the tackle. Right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard or so. Call it to 25 and make it 2nd and 9. And same look. This time Grundy is split out and Riley is in the slot. And now Brett Myers seeing something he doesn't like. He's going to call an early timeout here in this second half. Timeout. We'll take a quick break with the Raiders with 4:10 left to go in the third and a 14-6 lead for Twin Valley when we come back to Wyomissing after this.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Following the Twin Valley timeout, 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. They are at their own 25-yard line. And again, Twin Valley on top, 14-6. You're watching high school football presented by Savage Auto Group on WEEU. More coverage for you. Additional way next Friday night will be at Conestoga Valley on both the radio and on our Live 365 app as well. You can listen to it or you can watch it as well, as all of our coverage is available to you on YouTube at 8:30 WEEU Sports on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It's much easier to find it. You can find it no matter where you choose to watch it. Poll looks pretty good on a big screen TV. 2nd down and 9 from the 25-yard line. Engel remains in the backfield. Riley split to the right side. Grundy to the left this time. And the give again is to Engel, trying to find some daylight. He's got daylight. He's got a first down run. 40, 45 at midfield. Drew Engel makes another man miss and finally runs out of bounds in Wyomissing territory, down close to the Spartan 40-yard line, depending on where he stepped out of bounds.
Fantastic run by Drew Engel and an even better job by the Twin Valley offensive line to open that hole for him.
Waiting to see where exactly they spot Engel out of bounds. It's in Wyomissing territory, that we know, but it's somewhere, it looks like it's the 44-yard line of the Spartans. So another field flipper for Drew Engel. He had one on the first play of the game when he ran for 53. That for 29 yards and another Twin Valley first down. 120-plus yards now for Engel on the day. And he stays in there as the back, and he's going to get another handoff here. He runs nose-to-nose with Xander Westwood and wraps him up, pushes it to about the 41-yard line. A tough 3-yard pickup for Engel. Right there to meet him was Westwood. Those two have collided hard a couple of times in this third quarter. The last one, Engel came to the sideline. He's right back out there now saying, I'm good. Give it to me again. Good to see some mud on the jerseys, Matt. You don't get to see that a whole lot.
No, with artificial turf, the clouds of dust and the mud, depending on your conditions, have nearly been eliminated.
2nd and 7 from the 41. Right back to Engel. Looking for a hole. Has a hole. Dives. Did he get a first down? Looks like he did, but a flag comes down from behind the Twin Valley offensive line. So Drew Engel dives to about the 30. It's a first down, but it's not because it's going to be a penalty against Twin Valley for a hole. So it's 10 yards from the spot of the play, which looks like it's going to be the line of scrimmage. So it will push them back to the other side of the 50. To their own 49-yard line now for Twin Valley. Puts them in a 2nd and 17. Same look. Grundy split left. Riley split right. Cabegas the tight end. And, of course, with the loss of Joe Buckley, Rementer now filling in that role as a wing on the right. Riley will now shift into motion. And the give is to Lucas Myers in there at back. And he's got it back into Wyomissing territory as he bounces off the tackle of Arguelles and finally goes back down to the 41. They get back what they lost on the penalty and a little bit more as Lucas Myers on the carry. Will bring up 3rd down for Twin Valley and about 6, maybe 7 to pick up the first down. 3rd and 7 at the 41. They've got to get inside the 35 of Wyomissing to the 34-yard line to move the sticks. 2:40 left in the third. 14-6 Twin Valley. Myers stays in there as the back. Engel splits out as a receiver now on the near side. Now he's going to go into motion. And Foster wants to throw for it, looking across the middle to Rementer. He overthrows it. It's incomplete.
Foster just missed on that pass, but it was interesting to see Myers and Engel on the field at the same time there for the Twin Valley offense. Unfortunately, they will be forced to punt.
4th down, and Brett Myers going to play the long game here. He's got a 14-6 lead. 4th and 7 at the 41-yard line of Wyomissing. He's going to have Grundy punt and hope he can do what he did last time, which was to back Wyomissing all the way down to the 1-yard line. Now Arguelles is the return man. Snap, no problem. Grundy gets it off. It's a high, short kick. Arguelles has some hesitation. Now he picks it up on a hop at about the 5. Looking for some kind of block and nothing there, but Twin Valley Raiders and Cabegas is there to wrap him up. A lot of hesitation there on Arguelles. And I'm sure a couple of hearts stopped for a moment as he thought about the fair catch, then changed his mind, then had to make sure he didn't lose the football. And Wyomissing, again, will start deep in its own territory. 1st and 10 for the Spartans, what it looks like at around the 7 or 8 yard line.
Interesting play there by Arguelles, obviously catching it on the bounce, but you're backed up inside your own 15. Some coaches would rather just let that bounce into the end zone, but no harm, no foul for the Spartans.
So the Spartans down 8, start at the 8. 1st down and 10. 14 Twin Valley, 2:14 left to go in the 3rd. Eisenhower, the fullback, and he's going to get the call. And Eisenhower looking for some daylight. Not a whole lot there, but they'll push across the 10 to about the 11 or 12. There's actually Tyler Nidrowski in at the fullback spot. My mistake. Eisenhower wears 21. Nidrowski wears 24. And they'll spot the football at about the 11 or 12 yard line. Make it a 4-yard gain for Nidrowski and make it a 2nd down and 6 coming up for Wyomissing. Backed up in this spot in the field in the first time, they was a healthy dose of Tyler Nidrowski. And they'll do a little bit more here. Now this is Hardy trying to turn the edge. There's Justice Hardy on the offensive side and turns the edge. It looks like a Wyomissing 1st down, but isn't. A couple of penalty flags down instead. So it's been a quiet day for Justice Hardy so far in terms of touches with the football. This one is not going to stay. It's going to be against Wyomissing.
Holding penalties now negating big runs on both sides these last 2 drives. But you mentioned Justice Hardy, sort of a quiet day. He's the sleeping giant on this Wyomissing offense. They got to get him out in space to break that big one.
So instead, Wyomissing backed up even further now on the penalty. The ball spotted at the 6 yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and about 12 now coming up for Wyomissing from their own 6. A minute and a half now left to go in the 3rd quarter. Eddie White is again in there as a 2nd tight end. He's on the left side with Diamante Strong on the right. Play action fake on a bootleg. Here is Westwood. Eisenhower rolling out looking for Hardy, but it's over his head. Hardy had not been able to get his head turned around to find the football. The incomplete pass will bring it.
Aggressive play call there for the Spartans. Eisenhower, if he takes that sack, that's a safety, a 2-possession lead then for Twin Valley. Just a little bit too far overthrown on that pass.
Good coverage downfield by Twin Valley. Keenan Munn was there with Hardy. Never had the opportunity to turn his head around and find the football. So the Spartans now in the 3rd and 12. They stop the clock with 1:30 left in the 3rd. Same look with the 2 tight end set. Nidrowski is the fullback. Hardy wing on the left. And here is the counter handoff for Hardy, hoping he can break something, but he will not do it. Rementer tripped him up, and Grant Moser there to slow him down, and the Spartans will have to punt from deep in their own territory.
Wyomissing's used counter plays on 3rd down several times through this game. Twin Valley has answered the call every single time. Great defense by the Raiders.
So Hardy gets a little, but not nearly enough, and on 4th and about 11, Wyomissing will have to punt the football. Mayer will punt it from his own end zone. A chance for Twin Valley to get great field position out of this as well, as Grundy is back to return it. Grundy will field it about his own 35-yard line inside the 30 and then push from behind inside the 25 and all the way down to close to the 20-yard line. So Ben Grundy with a very physical punt return with some help from his teammates. And the Raiders are already knocking on the Wyomissing door with 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Bit of a knuckler of a punt. Grundy had to sort of lean forward to make sure he secured it, but great way to recover, turn into a positive return.
Twin Valley with a 14-6 lead, 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Twin Valley starts at the Wyomissing 20-yard line. Angle back in the backfield. Riley from the slot goes in motion. Give is to Angle, trying to go on the left side to short side. Gets away from Strong and fights his way close to the 15. We're going to see exactly where they spotted Angle down. Looks like he may have went out of bounds. The clock stopped with 32 seconds left to go. So we'll put him at the 17, call it second down and 7 coming up now for the Spartans. Excuse me, for the Raiders at the Spartans 17.
Drew Angle is giving the Wyomissing linebackers all they can handle when he's got the ball.
Ben Grundy split right, Chase Riley split left. Right now they are window dressing. This is the ground and pound of the Twin Valley Raiders right now, with Engel and Myers getting the carries. Right now it's Engel, and second and 7 from the Spartans 17. Give is to Engel. Takes a pop again from Westwood. Boy, those two have had some serious collisions as Engel fights his way to the 14. Gain 3 more. This will be third down and 4.
I would be surprised if Twin Valley doesn't let this run down to the end of the third quarter. Try to shorten this game as much as possible.
That is exactly what they are going to do, as the Raiders are going to let the clock wind down. We have 12 minutes left to go in the football game. The Twin Valley Raiders looking for the ultimate statement win, a win at Wyomissing. They've got 12 minutes left to go. They've got a lead of 14-6, and they have the football when we come back with more coverage on WEEU in Reddick.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
We start quarter number 4 alongside Matt Knob. My name is Bob McCool. The Wyomissing Spartans, the Twin Valley Raiders. Twin Valley leads at 14-6, and Twin Valley's driving to start the fourth quarter. They've got it 3rd and 4 at the Wyomissing 14-yard line. Right back to Drew Angle. Why not ride the hot hand of Angle? Just pushing tacklers with him, pushing the pile. Now getting some help, still driving forward, and it looks like it's enough for a first down and first goal for Twin Valley.
Credit to Drew Angle and this Twin Valley offense. They're just imposing their will on this Wyomissing defense.
Angle needed 4. He got 5. And a new set of downs for Twin Valley. First and goal at the 9. Trying to make this a 2-score game for Twin Valley. Grundy split out to the right side. Riley left. As I said, they have not factored into this. This is a ground attack for Twin Valley in this second half. Riley will go in motion from left side to right, and it's right back in the hands of Angle. Picking his way, finding his way inside the 5, down to about the 3, second down and goal to go. Six more on the carry for Angle, unofficially over 140 yards rushing. Angle's career high 2 years ago against Garden Spot at 231 yards. Again, that was as a sophomore. Did not get a whole lot of chances last year out with that broken clavicle. Rain picks up here at second and goal. Right back to Angle, fighting his way in, and will take a tackle with him in the end zone. Drew Angle in from 3 yards out, and Twin Valley adds on.
Drew Angle made that drive for the Raiders, only fitting that he's the one who scores the touchdown, gives the Raiders a 2-possession lead with just over 10 minutes to go.
The 13th touchdown of the season for Drew Angle. Is it lucky number 13 for the Raiders? It now gives them a 2-score lead. Still a lot of time left to go in this football game. And on comes Nate Schaefer to attempt the extra point. Low snap, they dig it out. The hold is good. A flag goes down. The kick is good. Let's wait and see what the flag is all about. We'll see if this is against Wyomissing. They may assess this on the kickoff. Looks based on body language, this is against the Spartans, but Personal foul against Wyomissing. So that will be assessed on the kickoff. So the extra point is good. Twin Valley will take that extra point, and they have the lead. When we come back to Wyomissing, 10:45 left to go in the football game. It's now Twin Valley 21, Wyomissing 6. More high school football coming your way when we come back after this.
WECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business, and we're committed to being your financial flow. UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
So as I said, with the personal foul penalty and the extra point, it's assessed on the kickoff. So Twin Valley will kick off on the Wyomissing 45-yard line, and Schaefer will just drill this out in the back of the end zone and force Wyomissing to go from its own 20 on the touchback. 10:45 to go. So still plenty of time for the Spartans, but the deficit gets larger. It's now a 15-point difference on the scoreboard at 21-6 in favor of Twin Valley. And Wyomissing has it 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line.
Wyomissing obviously trailing by 2 possessions, but they need to come out in these first couple plays and set the tone, garner back some of this momentum with some positive plays. They've been behind the sticks too much in the second half.
Hardy wing left, Fleischhood wing right. Throw for Brady Eisenhower. He airmails it over the head of Fabrizio. And again, the receiver for Wyomissing had really not gotten a chance to turn his head around, and Eisenhower had already thrown the football. It's now 2nd and 10. So perhaps a little bit of some happy feet for the sophomore Brady Eisenhower right now. And by the way, good to see Joey Buckley's back out there for Twin Valley. Hobbling a little bit on that right ankle, but he is back out there on the defensive line. 2nd and 10. Toss pitch here for Fleischhood. And right there to wrap him up and bring him down. Great job coming up from his safety spot was Grant Moser. And then help from behind by Grayson Miller as Fleischhood gets a couple, and it'll be 3rd and about 8.
Great pursuit by the Twin Valley defense, and here again, another 3rd and long for the Spartans.
From the 22-yard line, call it about 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Spartans. Clock continuing to wind as well, closer to the 10-minute mark. Fabrizio will split out to the left with Hardy now in the slot on the left side. And Eisenhower roll that way now, throws it back the other way for Strong, who dropped the football. Diamante Strong took an eye up and over and looking for a defender and dropped the football, incomplete at 4th down.
Had a couple blockers out in front, Bob. It would have been interesting to see how many yards he could have picked up, but all for not an incomplete pass.
Defensive end Aaron Sumner was there for Twin Valley and made Strong kind of take a peek. And on the incomplete pass, Wyomissing will have to punt the football. And another chance now for the Raiders, who do not have anybody back deep. As Mayer will boom this. Grundy not back deep, and it's going to roll.
Content to play the potential fake there, Bob.
Just in case they didn't put anybody back deep to make sure that Wyomissing really was going to punt the football, they did. And so the Raiders, with a 21-6 advantage, will now get the football back. At the 30-yard line is where Twin Valley will start this possession, and a 2-score lead.
Something tells me, Bob, they're going to stay true to form here and keep this ball on the ground with a heavy dose of Drew Angle.
Well, he's back out there. 20 carries now on the day for Angle, 14 of them in this second half. And he'll get the call here on 1st down. Wyomissing expecting that, and they do what they can to put some heat on him. Eisenhower and Westwood in on the tackle, but Engel still able to get about 3 or 4 out of it to the 34-yard line. It's 2nd down and 6. Engel with over 2,500 yards in his career and now 30 touchdowns with his touchdown in Twin Valley's last possession. 2nd and 6 at the 34-yard line. Maverick Foster, the sophomore quarterback, telling his receivers what he wants them to do, as Engel's going to get the call, and Engel will get a little bit. Eisenhower there again to wrap him up, as Engel's brought down at the 36, a gain of 2, makes it 3rd and 4. Boy, must-stop territory here for Wyomissing defensively. They need to get this offense of Twin Valley off the field. 3rd and 4 from the 36. Chase Riley split out on the right side. They're looking like they're just put and Dom Summers split out right. Just taking some time off the play clock. Give is to Engel. Looking for some daylight, and Engel will get enough daylight to move the sticks across the 40 and out to about the 44-yard line. Does power football in this second half by the Twin Valley Raiders. 1st and 10 at the 43. They needed 4. They got 7.
Ground and pound for the Twin Valley Raiders. And what stands out to me most about Drew Engel, Bob, I didn't see him in person last year. Haven't seen him play in person in 2 years. He's transformed into a much bigger, as one would expect, much bigger power back, just willing to run between the tackles and take on any linebacker that may be in his way.
As they said, unfortunately, he missed a lot of time last year with that clavicle injury. He's a great lacrosse player. He's already committed to West Point to continue to play lacrosse, and he's got the football again, just launched his way into Wyomissing territory, and another Twin Valley first down run for Drew Engel.
Twin Valley has Wyomissing on its heels. The Spartans looking for answers. Looks like some stern conversation going on between several of the Spartans defenders.
12 more for Engel into Spartan territory at the Wyomissing 45-yard line. 7:45 left to play in the football game. Twin Valley going for a knockout punch here. Now they're going to bring Lucas Myers in as the back and move Engel out to a split end spot on the right side with Dom Summers split out on the left side. Engel will go in motion, shift it around the backfield. It's just window dressing because it's going to be Myers. And Myers bounces off a tackle from Chase Eisenhower and bounces it to about the 42, picks up 3. So Brett Myers is using both of those backs, but he's just kind of alternating them, giving Engel a breather here and there, and letting Lucas Myers pound on him a little bit. 2nd and 7.
With 2 backs of that quality, Bob, they have to keep an eye on the other one, whether it's just simply window dressing or not. Keeps the Wyomissing defense guessing.
2nd down and 7, and also keeps the clock running. Now inside is 7 minutes to go. 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line. Right back in the hands of Myers. Myers following his blocking, breaking tackles. Another first down for Twin Valley. Wyomissing tries to pull him backwards, but the forward progress has him at the 35-yard line, which should be enough to move the chain. Let's give some credit to the dudes up front. Noah DiGiacomo, Grayson Miller, Andrew Boswell. The tackles, Liam Sheehan and Zach Troutman just helping to push the pile forward. And let's not forget about the tight end as well, Andrew Cabagas.
Twin Valley averaging 292 rushing yards per game coming into this game, and they're showing their power up front on the offensive line with their 2 great running backs. Continue their form from the first 7 weeks.
And unfortunately, they also lost Joe Buckley, who's about back playing defensively, but Rementer has stepped into that spot instead to help leading the way in the blocking. It's 1st and 10 again. Now it's back to Engel. Engel hops over the pile and drives forward. Chase Eisenhower will trip him up, but not before he's inside the 30 and down to about the 27. 8 more for Engel, make it 2nd down and 2.
Twin Valley offensive line has just neutralized this Wyomissing defensive line, taking them completely out of the discussion.
8 more for Engel. 25th carry of this football game. He had 6 in the first half. 25 now on the day. 2nd down and a long 2 coming up for Twin Valley at the 27-yard line of Wyomissing. Riley goes in motion, looping around Foster. Doesn't matter. They're just going to hand it off this time for Myers. He's got a hole. Myers still on his feet inside the 20 and down to about the 15-yard line, and another Twin Valley first down. Chain gang again will move forward as they spot the football inside the 15. Put it at the 14-yard line. More on the run for a first down by Lucas Myers. He's trying to pile up the yards himself. He's got 11 carries unofficially and 70 yards. He stays in there as the back. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 5 minutes left to go in the game. Twin Valley trying to put this thing out of reach. Foster hands it off for Myers again. This time, Myers hits Westwood, spins away from him for a moment. Westwood holding on to the 10-yard line, a gain of 4 for Lucas Myers.
Clock becoming the enemy of Wyomissing as we're inside 5 minutes to go.
Rain continuing to fall slightly here at Bob Wolfram Field. 2nd down, we'll call it 6 for Twin Valley at the 10 for Wyomissing. Again, they just letting the play clock wind down, taking their time. Red Myers has been here before in these kinds of situations with those playoff runs in Middletown. A different story for the Twin Valley Raiders. Myers, big hole. Myers kicks it outside. Drew Angle, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Twin Valley. Just kicked it out after he saw some contact coming his way. Angle kicked it out at about the 5 and runs it in for the touchdown.
Talked all about Drew Angle's power and all the weight he's put on over the last couple of years, but he still has the breakaway speed.
10-yard run for his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And on comes Schaefer for another extra point attempt. All Twin Valley in this second half. What was a 7-6 halftime lead has now turned into a 28-6 Raider lead as Schaefer's extra point is good. 4:11 left to go for the Wyomissing Spartans to figure something out when we come back after this on WEEU.
Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on. So I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com.
4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. And Twin Valley, again, going to opt for a little pooch kick. It's actually Josiah Horst who's in there now to kick off, and not Nate Schaefer. And now, that quickly, they're going to change things up. And here comes Schaefer. So they just not quite sure what happened there. They just kicked it. They didn't kick it out of bounds because they're still kicking it again at the 40. Here comes Schaefer again.
While we were in commercial break there, Bob, the Twin Valley faithful who made the trip up from Elverson today, giving the Raiders a standing ovation there after their 4th touchdown of the game. 22-point lead here with just over 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, Twin Valley has to go right back at it again next week. They will host Lampeter Stroudsburg in Elverson next Friday night. And this one on the ground, returned by Hardy from about his own 10, but his knee touched the ground. Justice Hardy went down to field the football, and his knee was on the ground, and Wyomissing is going to start deep in their own territory again. Hardy can't believe it, but the official was standing right there and saw his knee, according to the official, on the ground, and Wyomissing at the 10.
Twin Valley absolutely dominating this field possession game in the second half. Wyomissing is just backed up against their own end zone every single possession.
Their first possession started after the Twin Valley kickoff to score to start the third quarter at the 35. From there, the 8, the 20, and now the 10 is where the starting position has been for Wyomissing in the second half. And don't forget, they had one at the 1 in the first half.
Very hard to play from behind when you're backed up that far against your own end zone.
So here's Brady Eisenhower. Throw. It's Diamante Strong, the tight end, pushing his way forward, trying to get close to the first down. He's going to come up a couple yards short. Third catch of the game now for Diamante Strong. This one goes for about 7. Make it 2nd down and 3. So 3 of the 4 completions from Brady Eisenhower today have been to Diamante Strong. The other has been to Chase Eisenhower. 2nd and 3 for the Spartans at the 17. This is uncharted territory for Wyomissing. Not a team built to air it out and come from behind down a couple of scores. Eisenhower deep drop this time. He's in trouble. Steps away from trouble. Buckley's chasing him. He gets away from Buckley. Now he's going to tuck it and run it, trying to get out of bounds well as he will. Momentum was closing in on him. And Brady Eisenhower, the sophomore quarterback, made the right move and got out of bounds. And looks like he picked up the first down as well.
Eisenhower showing off his mobility there to shed two potential tacklers, run that ball out of bounds.
By the way, that is Wyomissing's first down of the second half. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever said that before in the fourth quarter of a Wyomissing football game. But here we are. To the 23-yard line, it's first down and 10 on the scramble by Brady Eisenhower.
If it ever happened before, it wasn't recently, Bob. I can assure you of that.
Probably a very accurate point by you. First and 10 at the 23. Clock does stop at 3:25 as Eisenhower got out of bounds. Now Nidrowski comes out. He's lined up actually as a slot receiver on the left side. It's a counter handoff for Fleischut. Fleischut, nothing there. Great job by Aaron Sumner, the defensive end, pinching in and wrapping him up and dropping him right around the 25, a gain of just 2. Talked about it at halftime, Matt. Just the counter handoffs have not done anything to this Twin Valley defense.
Not at all. And the counter, one of Wyomissing's bell cow plays, something they really rely on. It just hasn't been there at all.
Second down and 8 for the Spartans at their own 25-yard line. Clock continuing to run. Wyomissing has all 3 of its timeouts left, but again, they trail by 3 scores. They're going to stack everybody on the left-hand side of the line of scrimmage, an unbalanced line. And the give is to the fullback. Nidrowski gets a couple. That's actually Xander Westwood, the third of those fullbacks getting the call. His first opportunity to run with the football goes for a couple to the 28. It'll be a 3-yard pickup. It's third down and 5 now coming up for Wyomissing. 2:15 it counted. Does not look like the Spartans are playing in a hurry-up mode in any way here. Wyomissing next week will take on Octorara on the road or at home here at Wyomissing and then finish up at Lampeter-Strasburg in week 10. Shifting around, Don Marquellis is in there now as a receiver on the right side. Teddy White on the left side. Westwood underneath Eisenhower underneath route 4. Westwood throws it behind him and incomplete. It's fourth down.
Certainly not what Eisenhower had intended there. Ball came off his hand a little bit awkward. Hard to say if the rain impacted it or not, but a tough pass to catch, to say the least.
So it's fourth down now for Wyomissing. Fourth, and we'll call it 5 from the 28. The incomplete pass does at least stop the clock for Wyomissing with 1:52 now remaining in the football game. And here it is, potentially the last play for Wyomissing if they can't move the sticks. Westwood stays in as the fullback. Give is to Armistead in there as the back, and he's not going to get much of anything. So Wyomissing has kind of thrown up the white flag here. They didn't have Hart on the field. They didn't have Eisenhower or Nidrowski out there as the fullback, and they will turn it over on downs. Twin Valley will take possession, and Twin Valley, you want to talk about what Matt Knob called a statement game? This is a statement win for the Twin Valley Raiders. With 1:45 left to go, Twin Valley's going to get the football back and have to take a couple of knees and remain unbeaten. If they take possession, first and 10 at the Wyomissing 28-yard line.
Twin Valley ended this game 7-0, but many people, including myself, questioning the strength of that record given their competition and the blowouts. But statement victory, to say the least, Bob, as you mentioned. They've left it all out here on the field and left Wyomissing looking for answers on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, as we said, I mean, we talked about it at halftime, but you cannot forget that Lampeter-Strasburg is out there, and both these two teams have to face them. Lampeter-Strasburg comes to Elverson next Friday, and then Wyomissing goes to Lampeter in 2 weeks. So they're going to have a factor in all of this as well in terms of how these two teams are going to, or three teams are ultimately going to end up, and who's going to end up at the top of the district when it's all said and done. Last year, it was Lampeter-Strasburg. Twin Valley has one big one on their belt right now because they're going to beat Wyomissing. Maverick Foster going to take the snap from the shotgun, but more than likely going to take a couple of knees. Angle is his back. And he will give it to Angle. Angle slips off a couple of tackles and piles on some more yardage as he runs this one down inside the 20-yard line. And now a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play as Angle runs for another 8 yards or so. It's going to put him closer and closer to a 200-yard day for Drew Angle.
You mentioned the three heavyweights in Section 4, Bob Wyomissing, Twin Valley, and LS. Twin Valley 0-3 against Wyomissing and LS last year. With the win today, regardless of how it goes next week, this has to give the Raiders so much more confidence heading into that big game against the Pioneers.
2nd down and 2 now after the 8-yard run for Angle. So the clock will hit inside of a minute to go. The play clocks right now here at Wyomissing are off. So Angle's got to kind of look to the sideline and look to the officials who keep the clock. And now Foster just simply has to take a knee, and that's going to do it. He'll probably have to take one more knee, and that will be it as the Twin Valley Raiders are going to take the victory today, coming to Wyomissing and putting on quite an impressive performance. They shut down Wyomissing. Do not let the Spartans score a touchdown. Unfortunately for Mike Keller and his debut on the Cannon, it's all not. As Wyomissing does not score a touchdown, and Twin Valley takes the win. 28-6, the Raiders win it, and we will take a timeout. We'll come back with our Pizza Como Temple postgame show when we come back to Wyomissing after this.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, ensuring what means most to you. For over 30 years, we specialize in auto, renters, agencies, and life insurance. Remember, insurance, think spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. SPOTTS, the number 4, insurance.com.
Ram is once again the number 1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? Offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
Find out how WEU could be your affordable advertising partner. Call 610-457-7338.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage door. They run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just overheaddoorreading.com.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling Vic for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling Vic for your next gathering. And pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square. And pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square. Head and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season. Street Highway and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season. Street Highway and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your Street Highway and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football